after it's all said and done, you're gonna be taking splinters out of your fat asses all night long because you got the fat ass. The only chance you have no chance. If you had a chance, is you can run lickety split. You can't run because you're the fat ass. Well, Ric Flair, you know what? I'm not a normal looking athlete myself. You know what I'm talking about? I've been in the gyms a lot. It's a privilege and an honor to walk out with Ole Anderson, Lex Luger, and the Omelet tomorrow night.
I am not a happy camper. What is Bully Ray's motivation? You know I know he loves sugar. But I check my pocket. I don't have no donuts. I don't have no cheeseburger. I know you love sugar, but I ain't got none.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here in Nashville, Tennessee, pal. I'm the man.
Booking a match for the total package Lex Luger and Super Brawl? Super Saturday? What is it? I don't know what it's called. What is it called?
Super Brawl Saturday.
Super Brawl Saturday?
You don't lose faith in winners. And Ric Flair, day in and day out, every day of his life, just keeps winning and winning and winning.
Ric Flair! New York City, Ric Flair! You're gonna find out what hard is all about! I do exactly what I want to do. You say I'm insane. I say thank you very much.
Make a good lucha.
I hate God!
Hit the deck! Yes! We love you, Scott Steiner!
Today, woo, I've got the star and profile like never before.
You guys talk about being students of the game. I am the game, JR.
All right. Well, enough of that. What is going on, everybody? That's right. Wednesday night. That's right. We are Dirt Sheet Dudes. And Wednesday night. Hope everybody had a good Easter weekend. Mine was long and boring and not long enough, actually. I could have used 3 more days off, to be honest with you. Smark, my man.
Yes, sir.
How was your Easter weekend, sir?
That's pretty good. I spent some time with my grandparents, and then everybody else came Sunday night, and we all kind of hung out and did the Easter family tradition, dinner, all that kind of stuff.
Ah, it's always good, man. Always fun. Sometimes we do stuff, but usually we don't. This year, I literally just stayed home. I didn't do shit. I didn't even leave the fucking house this weekend, hardly. I just stayed home. My wife was gone at her dad's, and I just chilled out. I did do a show Saturday night, though, so that was a good thing at least. At least I got that done. So I did something this weekend. I didn't just do nothing, but I didn't do that much either.
There you go.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. But, all right, everybody. Let's see here. Should we go ahead and just knock plugs out real quick, Smark?
Yeah, let's do it.
Why don't we go ahead and do that real quick? Let me get the plugs popped up right here. Let me get some music on. By the way, if my audio sounds too loud, to this, to that, someone please tell me. I kind of did some adjustments today, and just Smark said it sounded okay. I just want to make sure it sounds okay over on Mixler. I'm not booming out of my mic or anything. If I am, I can do adjustments for that. So let me know. Let me know if it's that bad or whatever. So anyway, let me get this music kicking right here like I just said I would, like I didn't want to be lying. And there we go. We got music kicking right now. All right, folks. So I want you guys to be checking out It's the High Marks. That's right. And folks, it is 420. You definitely need to go check out the High Marks on 420. That's right. Cheeseman Mojo and G Wiz. They are the High Marks. They are on Mixler.com/Metal Mitt Podcast Network. And that is Sundays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, do not forget about Bobby Anthem and Bobby Blades. They're the Inhumans. They're on the Inhuman Experience. And you should already be subscribed wherever you download podcasts from. And we've got Everything Unscripted Wrestling Podcast. They can be found on all the usual podcast platforms and EUP Network over there on Blog Talk Radio. Check out Eric, Doug, and Daniel over there. And Steve Milan sharing the show. Letterboxd, boxd.com/Steven Milan, 2 L's in Milan. And I'll be back here Saturday night. I'm actually going to be talking Jim Brewer, heavy metal comedy.
Very nice.
Thought that'd be a fun one to do. And Smark, over to you, my man.
You got it. Mondays, 8:30 p.m. on the Metal Mitt Podcast Network on the Mixler machine. It is Cheese on Sports with Cheeseman, G Wiz, Luke Birch, Matt, and myself. NBA playoffs are in full swing. You can listen to Luke make fun of me as the Bucks beat the Bulls in their series, and then in a couple weeks you can listen to me make fun of Luke as the Heat beat the Bucks. It's the circle of life. Can you feel the love tonight? Where you can feel the love is with Mojo and Dirk's Most Dastardly Show. That's got Mojo, that's got Dirk, as the title would include. There's no false advertising here. And where there's also no false advertising is with our friends at Planet Raconteur. It's the Planet Raconteur podcast with Bobby Anthem, Papa Dave Sincere, and Yuck Nasty. All 16 episodes of Season 1 are available for you, and be sure to subscribe as Season 2 rolls on up.
There you go, folks. All right. Plugs are finished. Now we can get into some fun stuff. That's right. Fun stuff. Maybe even a little surprise coming up in just a second here, actually. This is our 250th episode. So we definitely want to thank everybody for hanging with us for the old 250 episodes. Absolutely thank you, no matter how anybody listens to this show. It is greatly appreciated, however you support this show. So, been a long time, been through some things this show, been through a co-host, and I thought it was time for a little bit of a change on this show. Me and Smark both have said how this show is an outlet for both of us to be here to talk to you guys, to just kind of be able to do something. I mean, really, I go to work, I come home. I go to work, I come home. I go back to work, I come back home. It's about all I do, guys. And, you know, whatever I do with my family. So this is an outlet for both of us, right, Smark?
That's right. I go to work, I play Dead by Daylight, and then I shout into a microphone about how much I hate Cody Rhodes. It's pretty much what I have to live for.
Fuck yeah, that's great shit right there too, man. You know, the fact that you get to do that, though, is awesome. That's the one thing. You get to do it. People actually listen. It doesn't matter how many. Enough. I don't care if 10 people listen to this fucking show. I just know I get to do it, and that's all that fucking makes sense to me. But anyway, this will be the last episode of the Dirt Sheet Dudes. And Oh, no. It's okay, buddy. It is the first episode of me and Smark on Wrestling Outlet.
That's right.
I know it sounds like a fucking store. You can get a lot of shit at a discount price. But this show is an outlet for us. I wanted to put a piece of both of us into this show. I think that actually fits us. This is wrestling. This is an outlet. So I'd like to welcome you guys to the first episode of Wrestling Outlet.
Yeah, plug on in.
Should have had some music ready or something. I don't know, but yeah, definitely. Dirk likes it. I actually hit up a few people this weekend. Was kind of bouncing it off some people. We had a few other names we were working with. Some of them I actually really liked, but I think this fits me and Smark really well. Over the weekend, I'll get a logo done. I'll have a new intro next week. I wanted y'all to savor that intro one more time. I do like that intro. That is a good intro. You know what? I'll keep the clips. I'll put new music to it. And yes, Dirk, you're welcome to use Dirk Sheet Dudes anytime you want. You're welcome to use it. Listen, I got to be honest. I thought of Dirt Sheet Dudes about 5 minutes before me and Shaheen's last the hot THT podcast. It was quick. It worked, but I think this show needs to evolve. I think me and Smark need to just kind of. I just think it was time. 250. I thought was a good time to do it. So there you go. Welcome to Wrestling Outlet, folks.
Indeed.
Smark, thanks for joining me on Wrestling Outlet this week.
That's right. I am glad that you did mention that it does sound vaguely like an outlet store, because it kind of made me think of those Nike outlet stores. And in some ways, I would think that our show is kind of like a pair of like mismatched Jordans that were made by a Taiwanese child laborer.
Well, I mean, we'll see what we can do on that end. But, hey, who knows? But I think the name's a little more simple, and Dirk wants discount outlet shoes. God damn it. Wrestling.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, just driving from like Tennessee to Chicago, you will see a couple of different fucking Nike outlet stores on the way there.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, we have Allen Outlet Mall. We have Tanger's Outlet Mall. We have so many outlet malls within 25 miles of me. It's ridiculous. Texas is like known for their malls and restaurants. That's about it. So is that a door in your place or mine? Oh my God.
That is all you.
I WD-40'd all the doors. What the fuck is that?
I hate to break it to you, but you appear to be haunted.
I appear to have 3 kids. Anyway, I'm glad everyone in the chat so far is liking the name. I like it. My wife liked it. Everyone who I was hitting up, like I said, we had a few more names. I just thought this one fit both of us. Like I said, this is our outlet for talking wrestling on Saturday nights. I get to talk movies, and even more of an outlet, I get to talk music, which I really thank y'all for letting me do it and still listening.
Just for the record, I suggested that we call ourselves the Wrestling Observers. I'm going full plagiarism.
We could have. Well, actually, we could tell them a few of them we were thinking about. We were actually going to call ourselves, what was it? Wrestling News Inc. Mm-hmm. That was close, and we're like, you think they would get pissed? You think Wrestling Inc. would get pissed? I don't know. Okay.
I was rooting for it because it seemed like there was a little bit of dishonesty there, and I'm willing to trade some integrity for an extra couple of listeners.
This name might give us a little integrity. I doubt it, but it might. It might give us a little bit. So we'll see. But I don't know. I just thought 250, and that's kind of why last week I took off. Just kind of wanted to, honestly, time got away from me. I'm like, oh my God, we're at 250 and we haven't thought of a new name. We've been talking about this for, 2 months now?
Yeah.
Yeah, going on about 2 months. We've been talking about getting this ready, and suddenly I was like, oh, wrestling stew. Wrestling broth. Nah, I don't even, there's a fight I don't even want. To be honest, I hear my kids. Yeah, there's that. Let's not even get into it. No, I'm good with this one. I'm good with Wrestling Outlet. So, and again, maybe eventually we'll have outlet merchandise for sale. I hope so. I hope we get that big. That'd be great. I'd love to have merch for sale. Mm-hmm. Fucking out of beer, out of here. Listen to the kids yell in the background. Put that on a shirt. My daughter's got some pipes on her. How's that? My 2-year-old has some pipes on her. There's that one too. There you go. We could do some good shirts.
Indeed.
I got a feeling my wife's trying to put her to bed and she's fighting. Good water. Good water. Anyway, let's take that's it. I mean, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'll get a new intro done over the weekend. I'll get a new... I started working on a new logo today, or an actual logo. Our logo really wasn't a logo before, but it worked. And we'll get everything going. I just, like I said, me and Smark decided it was just time to do it. So there you go. Wrestling Outlet it is, folks.
Yes, sir.
All right. I guess on that note, we can fucking get into some wrestling. I don't even know what we're going to talk about first, to be honest with you, but we got plenty plenty of shit to get into. You know what? Let's go ahead and go back to last week's Mark. We did. I decided to take last week off.
It was actually pretty good because we had some bad weather rolling through here Wednesday night, so it would have been a little bit of a difficulty on my end as well.
I know we had bad weather, and we've been still having internet problems. Matter of fact, I've got my one. Luckily, we bought another router a couple of weeks ago, and we put another internet in the other room, or we'd have no Wi-Fi here. But
you put another internet in the room?
Another Wi-Fi router in my bedroom, because we're going to eventually. I'm going to move this computer in there so I can do more shows.
Yeah.
So eventually we're going to do that. But this internet, right, the Wi-Fi, for some reason, this internet keeps frying routers.
Ooh.
This, I don't know what to say, this setup on this internet keeps frying my router. I don't even know what to do at this point, but it's really starting to piss me off. I got to be honest with you. So we've gone through 3 fucking routers, dude.
Yikes.
Yeah, we've gone through 3 routers already, so it's getting to be a pain in the ass. So we're working on it, though. We're working on it, I guess.
Kind of reversal of fortunes there, because at my old house, you could say that the internet connection was spotty at best, and now the internet here is just fucking terrific.
Terrific is good. I wish I had terrific internet. The internet in my room seems fine. We just haven't plugged Ethernet into it, so I don't know how it's going to work, but we're planning on doing that in the next. We might get it done this weekend, but I mean, we can't do it Saturday. We do it Sunday. Well, we could do it Saturday. I can get this done in a day. Get mixer back up and everything set up. Sorry, folks. It's 4:20.
Indeed, it is.
Indeed, it is. So smoke them if you got them, dude.
And I think instead of trying to awkwardly shoehorn it in somewhere, I'm just going to suggest right now that we call the episode "A Launcher Blaze It."
Okay.
I mean, I could try to force it in, but I just feel like that suggestion just outright is what's going to make it work.
All right. I think we can do that if we can remember. You know how that goes. But I'm not drinking tonight, so we might actually remember, which is probably why I'm also going to be kind of calm. And if I'm not funny, it's because I'm not drinking. It's your fault, everyone.
Pass that buck.
Oh, my poor stomach can't take it anymore either. So, anywho.
If we're going back a little bit, I didn't really get a chance to talk about WrestleMania or WrestleMania weekend for that matter. And I would like to briefly, it's been done to death, but I would like to briefly share my favorite moment of that weekend. So they had the WrestleCon show, which was main evented by the Briscoes versus Homicide and Low Key. The Professional Low Key is his nickname. And somebody in the front row heckled him about something. And I'm going to assume it was his belief or lack thereof in vaccinations. That would probably be my guess. So somebody because like all of a sudden you just see them coming out and then you see Loki getting into somebody's face. The security quickly goes to remove him and they call him back over. Like Homicide and Loki both demand that he be brought back to the front row. And as he's walking, Loki jumps the barricade and sits in his seat and just stares at the guy. So now we have an incident, and this is going on for a good 20 minutes, the whole incident. Oh. So he ends up jumping back over the barricade and going back to ringside, while Homicide grabs the mic and proceeds to tell this young man that he fucked his girlfriend. And meanwhile, the people who TNT Broadcasting do not feel are safe enough options to hire are just sitting there, just awestruck, just waiting to do their jobs.
we don't want no goddamn part of this shit, man. We're this close to getting a job, man. Back the fuck off. Stop this shit.
So the entire and then half the match, anytime they would brawl to the outside, he would be jawing at the guy. So it was pretty amazing because the most captivating match of the night was Loki versus the Fan.
No, good to see Loki's not only showing us how professional he is, but also how mature he obviously is. Oh God!
Calling himself the Professional, it's supposed to be like a play on the Hitman series, but I feel like it's just a rib.
Yeah, I feel
like him calling himself the Professional is just it has to be a joke.
Yeah. It's like the fat guy you call Slim. Yeah, or the the tall guy you call tiny. Yeah, it's the same thing. Just a rib on himself, and he doesn't know it yet. Yeah, I get it. I mean, shit, they called fucking Zeus tiny Zeus Lister. He wasn't fucking tiny, I'll tell you that.
Not at all.
I think we all know that shit. Anyway, anything else on the WrestleMania weekend that you missed?
No, I think that about covers it. Everything else has been talked about to death. I just wanted to share for those who didn't get to experience it, the joy of low-key fighting with a fan.
Like I said, so professional, so mature, so low-key. Anywho, let's keep getting into, you know what? Let's go with, let's stick with professional and mature when we get into this. We're going to go back to last week, something that happened last week, but is kind of still being joked about and talked about right now. Tony Khan had put out a tweet talking about an independent study that it was all the people that are hating on AEW are bots. Basically, he was implying that they're bots paid for by WWE. They are internet bots who WWE has hired to trash AEW. Maybe some of them are, but okay. Well, okay. Hold on. I'm misrepresenting this. They didn't hire bots. They're using algorithms. I mean, hey, robot, you're hired. All right.
I do like the idea of like Vince hiring a bunch of those like Chuck E. Cheese automated musical robots to just like reprogram them to shit on AEW.
Yeah, that would be great.
Rock of Fire Family Explosion Band.
But yeah, what they're doing is what he's accusing them of is that was funny. It just hit me. Anyway, he's accusing them of literally using like algorithms and bots to trash his company. Totally disregarding people that actually have valid opinions and valid criticisms of his company. Like, I believe saying that they are taking advantage of the picture-in-picture breaks, a valid complaint.
Well, I mean, I don't know for sure that you're not an automaton.
I mean, I could be a bot.
We all could be a bot.
I mean, we all could not even know we are. That's just, hold on, let me hit this fucking pipe again. No, I'm kidding. All right.
Hi, welcome to Joe Rogan Podcast.
Dude, we all could be fucking robots, man.
Yeah.
Fucking Terminator, bro.
It'd be pretty cool to be a Terminator.
Skynet go live yet, dude? Skynet's gone live. Skynet's gone live. We're on Skynet. Anyway, this is hilarious thinking by Tony. Now, look, he may be right on a portion, a very small portion, I have a feeling, are bots trying to, trash his company. Some might be actually people paid by WWE. Maybe. Who fucking knows? And you know what? Who cares?
I mean, if they are doing that, I would just like them to know that my services are available. $20 an episode, I think, would be good enough. Or if you can give me a Batista autograph.
I think you should go per post.
Ooh, okay.
I think you should charge per post. I think you should work that out again. But
I get one of those hats that has like the fucking Bella Twins hat that had like hair attached to the back of it. Do you remember that shit? That was fucking something else.
Or Kane's fucking mask. But
I want the cape. I want the red cape that he wore at like one house show.
I remember that. I remember when they were that was all over for a little while. The cape he wore. Caped Kane. But anyway, he completely disregarding people with actual valid criticisms. I really feel that when we say, like I said, the picture-in-picture, I think he's taking advantage. I think they do it too much. And now do it every fucking match, which drags every match through commercial, which, if you notice tonight, sort of rushed the main event.
A little bit, yeah.
So why couldn't they just say, all right, why don't we just skip this picture in picture, let the match happen, and we come back and the match end? What the fuck?
Oh my god! On that note, did you fucking hear Excalibur rapid fire promote the next Rampage and Dynamite next week?
Yes, that was pretty. I was impressed.
Two fucking entire cards in 20 seconds. It was like the fucking guy that reads the fine print on those car commercials or like insurance commercials on the radio.
Yeah,
he rapid fired that shit,
and those are sped up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was impressed. I was like, damn. Excalibur going a fucking auctioneer. Again, I got a 5. Who guessed that? 20, 22. Come on. I love auctions. Anyway, I actually do. We used to go all the time when I first moved here. We'd go to one out in East Texas. It was fun. They had cool shit. And it wasn't a livestock auction before anyone asks.
Well, they actually promote one. I think it's like bi-weekly in the neighborhood here. I've never actually been to it, but there's signs all over the place.
I have. I've been to a livestock auction. You can get. We had a friend here that owned a little cattle farm, a little west of us, probably about 18 miles west, and he would go to the livestock auctions, get himself cattle, and he had a good little business going, man. You got to realize when you do agriculture in Texas, they love it. Holy shit. The government here, and the cities here in East Texas will actually pay you per certain amount of cattle you have on your land.
Huh.
So it's they like when you do that around here. They like when you do the farming around here. But yeah, they will actually pay you to have cattle. I think you can have 2 cattle per acre. So if you got 15 acres, you can have, 30, and I think that's what it is. But so yeah, I have been to those, but I was impressed. I was impressed with that tonight. But there are definitely criticisms, Smark, that are valid.
Yes.
But Tony just thinks we're all a bunch of fucking beep boop bots, and none of us really have valid criticisms. Beep boop, beep boop.
Well, like you were saying, yours is most commonly the picture-in-picture, which I don't disagree with. But I'm just saying, that's kind of been what your steady complaint's been. Mine's been just a lot of the matches are predictable.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's that too.
And for the most part, I'm complimentary of what they do because I feel like they do put on a good show most of the time. Last week was really good. This week, not so much, but they usually put on a consistently good program. It's just sometimes the matches are a little too predictable.
Yeah, they can be. You're right. They definitely can. I mean, I can think of a couple tonight that were definitely predictable. Did you really think Britt Baker was going to lose that match? No one thought Britt Baker was going to fucking lose that match. And there's a few more, and that you can audibly hear my daughter screaming, can't you?
A little bit, but
all right, it's not that bad.
Probably a bot, so it's all right.
Oh well, yeah, you're right.
Your robotic daughter.
Yes, I had her with my robotic cock.
Robocock.
So I was kidding about the wrestling. We're naming the show Robocock.
Okay. The Sperminator.
Oh, God. How come we can't stay on this topic? That's how ridiculous it is. Mm-hmm. That you just want to sit there and joke about it because it's so fucking ridiculous. I'm going to say one more time. I'm going to go on my I'm going to make it a mini rant. Tony Khan needs to shut the fuck up, stay the fuck off of social media. You want to go on, you want to say hi to your family, you want to do that shit, good. Just keep it fucking personal. DM people. Stop responding to fans that, if you think they're bots, what the fuck are you responding to, Tony? What are you responding to? Stop doing it. Shut the fuck up. Run your company, now companies, and just leave everybody alone. Take one thing from Vince McMahon: humility, and just let everything roll off your fucking back and leave social media alone. It will help you in the long run. That's my message. Mini rant over.
Yeah, probably. And I mean, based on the way that he expresses some of his emotions and the announcement that he made tonight, I wouldn't be so sure if Tony Khan himself wasn't a robot. He's got a very weird way of expressing his emotions.
I think he was. I don't think he wanted to be accused of being a cokehead at this time. I think he was trying to keep himself calm this time, and
Yeah, he kept his eyes within his skull, so that's always important.
yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I for real thought that he was wearing sunglasses at first, and I was like, you know what, that's a good call. That's a good call.
He should have. Last time, he definitely should have worn some sunglasses. That would have much helped him out a lot, probably. But anyway, like I said, man, that's how ridiculous this is. Like, we just keep joking about everything else because it's that ridiculous. Like I said, you're literally telling the fans that feel that they have valid opinions and criticisms of your show, you mean nothing. I don't believe you. You're a bot. Look, at least Vince says, say what you want. I don't give a fuck. I'm doing what I want. I respect that.
Right.
I do.
Well, I mean, there's so many, like, even wrestlers that are just, they constantly say that wrestling was better before Twitter, which is basically just a thinly veiled way of saying that, like, they enjoyed their job better when they didn't have as much feedback from the fucking consumers.
Yeah, and I even love that, like, some wrestlers even, like, came in, like, joking about it. That was great. Joey Janela with "It's me, Tony. It was me all along." That's a great one. Becky Lynch, of course. I don't know why suddenly she feels the need to jump in on all these viral things, but she feels the need lately to do it. She put an independent study confirmed that much of the staunch anti-Becky in-arena booers aren't real individuals. It's a staff run of thousands of AI. An army of bots. Look closely. They aren't real people. Who'd pay for such a wildly expensive thing?
I do like the idea of just an independent study. He conducted an independent study. Like, am I the only one that's just picturing QT Marshall in a lab coat?
It's QT Marshall and Lee Moriarty just hacking away on the fucking keys. Tony, look what we have found here. This is oddly interesting. Okay.
Detective Lee Moriarty.
Detective QT.
I am dead on serious when I tell you that I think a detective gimmick would get over. I don't know who would do it, but I want a detective gimmick.
Joey Ryan was doing it in Lucha Underground, and it was getting over, and it was good. I do have to say, in today's, how do I say this, climate, it's either going to be very accepted or be very rejected.
You know, you're right. I remember that that was actually a pretty good gimmick for him,
right?
Because it was him, and it was like fucking Ricky Reyes was an undercover cop.
Yes.
And there was one more that was also a cop, but I forget who it was. But yeah, they had a whole little unit that was like infiltrating the temple. I remember that.
Yep.
I got to go back and watch those. Those are so fucking good.
Yeah, they really were, man. I missed the last couple seasons, and I'm like upset with myself that I did it, but I don't know. But and by the way, with Becky's tweet about the arena being made up of thousands of bots, that sounds like I've seen that before. It sounds like Thunderdome. It was basically a bunch of bots that you could control, you could move, you could pipe in whatever you wanted to. Let's face it.
I miss those days a little bit. I thought it was creepy as shit, where there's just a bunch of like faces staring at you computer screens.
Yeah.
But then I also loved like the first week or two where you could tell who had a lot of experience on the independent scene and who didn't based on how they were reacting to nobody being in the arena. Yeah,
you're right. You really could. And I don't know. I'm glad they're out. I'm glad we got fans back. It felt good that first time we had the fans back in the arena. But I mean, let's be honest, once again with Becky's tweet, if Vince really could just fill the arena with a bunch of robots, he would.
Yeah, probably.
He'd bring them from show to fucking show. He would love it. He'd plug them in. He'd charge them up. He'd let them go out there, and he would do it.
He would do it. Large-breasted robots.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Triple H out there making them show their boobies again.
Mm-hmm.
Bot boobs. We need to see bot boobs.
Lactating motor oil.
Okay, now you're just going over the line.
Mm. It's a very specific fetish, I think, but
Specific. There you go. There you go. It's mostly bots, I heard, that search for that. It's just bots that are making that search. They're not real people, Smark. Look around. Look closely. You'll see. They're not real people.
man, botany would have also been a good show title.
Botany.
'Cause I know that's not what that means, but that's still a good play on words.
But bot-knee.
Mm-hmm.
Knee. No. My knee hurts. Anyway.
It happens.
That's another fucking thing I got to get looked at. Not only do I have to get my fucking stomach looked at more, I need to get my fucking knee looked at. Now they want to look at my shoulder. My wife told them everything. I
actually have surprisingly good knees. I've never really had any knee problems. Really bad feet, but fucking knees are solid.
Yeah, that's good. See, I go to the doctor, I do one thing at a time. All right, my knee hurts, just knock that bitch out. I'll be back from my shoulder. I can deal with it. Not her. She's like, his knee hurts, his shoulder hurts, his stomach hurts. Fix him.
Fix.
I'm like, no, fix one thing at a time. How many fucking, I can't do this. Then you're going to like 6 different fucking doctors. You got to see a specialist for this, a specialist for that. They want to fucking have me go to an orthopedic for my knee. They want me to go with fucking a chiropractor for my neck and shoulder because they think I separated something in my neck a long time ago. It never healed right, blah, blah, blah. That's another reason I took last week. I really had a lot going on last week. I had fucking endoscopy. I had fucking x-rays. I had all kinds of shit done.
I am glad that you're out of your iron lung now, though.
I feel like I'm heading there.
I gotta ask you real quick, though, because my grandmother does this, and I want to know if you have anyone else in your life that does this, where they'll go to somebody else's doctor's appointment and they will just like solicit free medical advice based on whatever they have going on with them.
No, never.
Because like she'll show up to somebody else, like she'll go to like my mom's or whatever, or mine, and she's like, "Oh, hey, by the way, my ankle's been hurting lately.
Can you give me a referral while I'm here?"
Write up a couple scripts.
Oh, there you go, a couple scripts. See, the good thing about most of the doctors here, they have pharmacies right in their office.
Very nice.
A lot of the doctors here you go to have them right there. They have little pharmacies that are all discount and all that stuff, and they're right there in their office. They just write a script before you leave. It's ready to go. Pretty convenient. I like it. It's very nice.
Indeed.
It is. So, and I don't think they're bots that work there. It could be. It definitely could be. But anyway, that might have made it for ridiculous tweet of last week, and I think that's the only story from last week that we really have.
Yeah, that I could think of. I don't think too much of anything really big has gone down over the last week or so.
No, not at all. Why don't you jump into one of yours, man?
All right. Well,
ooh, yeah.
Somebody who may or may not be a robot. F4W Online, Kushida is reportedly gone from WWE. Sean Ross Sapp reported tonight that Kushida has left WWE after his contract expired. Kushida signed with the WWE in 2019 and participated in that year's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic tournament with former partner Alex Shelley. In April 2021, he defeated Santos Escobar in an open challenge to win the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. He lost the title to your favorite wrestler, Roderick Strong, in September. After losing the Cruiserweight title, Kushida started to team with Ikemen Jiro, and together, I don't know why I made him Spanish, he is not, and together the two became known as my favorite team name, Jacket Time. Jacket Time. Yeah. He was originally scheduled to face Von Wagner in a match on last week's episode of NXT. However, he was taken out prior to the match backstage by Wagner. Instead, Wagner faced and defeated Kushida's tag team partner, Jiro. Prior to his run in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Kushida was one of the top stars. Prior to his run in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Kushida was one of the top stars of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Somebody wrote that. That was not my inability to read. Somebody wrote that.
Yeah, he could have put stars of their junior weight division, heavyweight division. But anyway.
Prior to being in New Japan, Kushida was a star in New Japan. So there you go. How about that? Good job, Brian Rose. I'm going to call you out for your inability to write columns. But yes, no more Kushida for those people who are interested in Kushida.
I'll tell you, man, he had a hot little run going on there for a little while. Everybody was fucking loving it right there, and I was even enjoying it. Remember, we were talking about it, saying how great he was. We were, waiting for him to pull the trigger, maybe even move him up, which everyone was nervous about. The guy's got a great gimmick, which they want kid-friendly gimmicks now. Doesn't get much more kid-friendly than Back to the Future.
Right, yeah.
They literally have rides at fucking Disney and Epcot and shit. That's pretty goddamn family-friendly if you ask me.
I wonder if that became like a problem with just they could only do so much with that before they run into potential lawsuits.
Maybe. Jesus. There's always jacket time, which, you put a space and take out the I and add a T. It's literally fucking jerk-off time is what that fucking means.
Well, yeah, that harkens back to the old fucking Blink-182 CD, take off your shoes and jacket.
Yeah, I remember that one. Not the biggest Blink-182 fan, but,
Yeah, but, that's what they're doing now, like 20 years later. They're making jokes that we made in, like, 1990 or 2001.
Absolutely crazy, man. Insanity. But, yeah, man, I'll tell you, he had a really hot run going there. We were all enjoying it. Everybody was enjoying it. I really enjoyed it. And then they just kind of, like everything they do, it's just if it's not getting over like they want it to, they just sort of fizz it out. And he just fizzed out.
That was kind of a thing that had happened for a while there, because there's a real rush for a minute to sign as many New Japan people as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm.
And because they were super hot at the time that it happened, and then you have now there's pretty much just down to being like Nakamura's there, AJ's there, one other person that I'm trying to remember, but for the most part, everybody else that they brought in, like the Good Brothers and that, like just kind of fizzled out, and they lost interest, and now they're gone. Oh, Balor's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely, and now we got all kinds of. We'll definitely be talking more New Japan in a little while tonight. So, up, barking dog. I don't know, man. Not that I've been watching a lot, but I think he's a guy that definitely could have been up on the main roster, and I think he really could have done very well on the main roster. I think the crowd would have taken to him very well.
Yeah, I agree. Like you said, it's a kid-friendly gimmick, and they need those. They're always looking for those. So, unfortunately, just for whatever reason, did not pan out.
Yeah, they could find another movie if they needed to for him. Who knows? I'm sure he's got other movies he's a fan of.
Yeah, well, yeah, give it about 15 years, and Vince will figure out Rick and Morty, and then there'll be a character based on that.
Yeah, there you go. Ick and Rorty.
Mm-hmm. That'd be fucking Roderick Strong's new gimmick. Be Ick and Roddy.
Ugh, Roderick Strong I'll tell you the gimmick he needs.
Unemployed?
Standing in the unemployment line. Sitting
that
at
would
home.
kind of be a solid gimmick.
Sitting at home drinking yourself into oblivion. I wouldn't mind doing that if I was getting paid for a few months.
Oh,
I'd be
but
honest.
Of course.
I'll be honest with you. I really wouldn't. Just maybe just for a week. Just a week. Just a week would do good. But yeah, man, I think this is a. He was kind of saying he didn't want his contract renewed, so he's gonna go back. I don't think this guy's gonna have a problem finding work anywhere.
Oh yeah, that seems to be the kind of betting odds that he's going to be on his way back to New Japan soon. So, not necessarily surprised by any stretch of the imagination, but there it is.
Man, they're losing a lot of really good talent. I don't see Kushida going to AEW. Maybe, but I doubt it.
I think maybe in like a one-off or like, part of the collaborative effort that they have going for themselves.
Right.
But like as a full-time roster member, I don't see it either.
Nah, I don't see it either. I mean, if he does, he does. That's great. That'd be fucking really cool if he did.
Yeah.
Be in the States a little longer. We'd see him on TV. They'd probably. I don't think WWE has any rights over that gimmick.
I don't think so either, but we shall see.
So he could probably use most of that gimmick. They might have, rights on a couple of the names for it or something, but I think it'd be pretty cool to have him out there.
Right.
So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I got a feeling. I think we both have a feeling he's going back to New Japan.
Yeah.
Which might get him over to AEW. Who knows?
Yeah, we shall see.
I mean, he's going to be a U.S. name, and they're going to be in, coming in June, AEW is going to be there. So, let's see.
And they do also have the New Japan Strong, the U.S. promotion, too. So.
True. So, we'll find out what happens.
They had a show over the weekend, too, from Chicago. You had Jon Moxley versus Will Ospreay. People were really enjoying that. I watched this afternoon. It was a pretty solid match.
Huh. I'll bet it was.
Oh, and they had it was like a multiple man, I want to say 10-man tag match. They had Scott Norton was in it with the Bullet Club. So he took no bumps. He tagged in and did a clothesline or two and then got the fuck on out of there. God bless him, he collected his paycheck.
Can't beat that.
No, not at all.
Collect that shit, baby. All right. Sir. I was gonna get into one here. It's got WWE filed all their SEC filings, which basically told everyone how much they're making. All the McMahons, basically, and Nick Khan himself. Some of the base salaries that were in the filing were Vince's, $2 million a year. I think that's actually not over. I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for here. I think that's kind of humble for a $2 million salary for a year for him.
He, as surprising as it would be to call $2 million humble or modest or what have you, based on what they're pulling in, I would tend to agree with you on that one. I would expect it to be far north of that number.
I mean, I know he's got other ways and other businesses and other ventures that he makes money in, and even in this company he's got other ways that he makes the money, the merch and all that shit, but I still think that's not bad when you consider Nick Khan is $1.2 million. That's what he made this year, and that's what he made. It's not bad. That's pretty good. Triple H is looking at $730,000. That's the same it was in 2021 and 2020. So he's just kind of stayed the same, which not bad. Stephanie's the same, $730,000. Let's see here. Any other that? Now we do know Stephanie also takes and buys and sells stock every now and then. Mm-hmm. So we know she gets money this way, money that way. So there's definitely other ways she's raking in cash. But I don't know, the one that caught my eye was the one for Vince McMahon. It says Shane McMahon last year made $1.3 million, which I'm like, wrestled once.
Wrestled once, had a couple of bad ideas. Yeah, apparently.
1.3 mil. Fucking what a guy! Those shirts must fucking fly off the goddamn shelves, dude. Mm-hmm. So now, if you're wondering what like a median WWE employee makes, just maybe someone just sort of mid-level, they're saying those employees in 2021 made about $118,000. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's livable.
I mean, are we presuming them to be office people or on-air talent? Or?
No, it's saying median in WWE employee. I would say employee would be someone in the office. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it would be the case.
Yeah. which again, that's not horrible. Yeah, they probably could pay them more. Of course, they could. But I don't know. Like I said, the one that caught my eye was Vince. I kind of thought Vince would have taken more over a year. But again, he can sell stock and make money anytime he wants to. Also, he owns fucking. I believe he's still the majority stock owner.
Man, what we got to do, and I've done this before. I did this a couple months ago just for fun. Like a couple of weeks from now or next week or whatever, they're listed on Glassdoor. And they have a bunch of different reviews from former and or current employees. And it is amazing to read through them and see which ones are like actually real people and then like which ones are just like disgruntled fans. Because I feel like that's a good number, a good lion's share of that too is just people who are fans that are shitting on the company. But there are some real good reads on there.
Well,
just their Glassdoor reviews.
Save that because obviously an independent studies show that they were bots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
there was one that I knew for sure had to be real because they like went into a very lengthy like diatribe about how the fucking rug in Vince's office was like it needed to be moved because people kept tripping on it. And like he just like this guy really went in on the fucking rug in Vince's office, and it's like there is no way that this is not a real person because they spent a lengthy period of time complaining about a fucking rug.
The bearskin rug.
It may have been.
I got a feeling it might be the bearskin rug. Old school listeners know about that.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Paul London, whatever the hell it is that he's doing these days.
What the hell did SBC just fucking send me here? What is this picture?
No.
I don't even know who that is.
It could be anybody.
I don't even know. What the fuck? Anyway, we can. Smark, just pick one of yours at this point.
Fascinated with this puppet. All right.
Yeah.
So somebody else who really loves puppets is one Jack Evans. Jack Evans is departing AEW when his contract with the promotion expires at the end of this month. This month being April. This is current news. In a tweet on Tuesday, Evans announced that he won't be re-signed when his AEW contract expires at the end of April. Evans thanked everyone in AEW for the opportunity he was given. Quote, "My time with hashtag AEW has been fun and enjoyable, but it has come to an end as I will not be re-signed when my contract ends at the end of April," Evans wrote. "I would like to thank everyone at AEW and the AEW fans for the opportunity." Evans signed with AEW following the launch of the promotion in 2019. He was part of the card for the promotion's inaugural event, Double or Nothing 2019. During his time with AEW, Evans was in a tag team with your favorite wrestler, Angelico, and was a member of the Hardy Andrade Family Office factions. Evans last wrestled for AEW on an episode of Dark that aired last month. He lost to Dante Martin. Joey Janela and Marco Stunt are also departing AEW when their contracts expire in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I don't mean to sound like a dick, but we're not losing anyone really that great here.
He was pretty much fully honest about everything that was been going on. And I watch him on Twitch, and if anybody else watches him on Twitch, it was pretty abundantly clear. Like, he wasn't shitting on the company, but it was pretty obvious that, like, he just wasn't going to be there for very much longer. Yeah. When you consider the fact that, like, every Wednesday they're doing live shows and he's just like sitting there in his apartment or whatever. So it's like, yeah. If like everybody else is on the road and you're just like playing video games in Mexico somewhere, probably not going to be with the company for too much longer. I guess what had happened, and this, he said this himself, so I'm not making shit up, but he had a match with Kenny Omega for the Mega title in AAA that they put on an episode of, I forget which program, I want to say Dark, but that was like a big opportunity for him because it was, Kenny Omega's top guy there, especially at that time, because it was early on in the company. And he was saying that when he signed the contract, he was just not prepared to be making that much money. And he had like gotten out of shape. And he, in his own words, said that he was just like smoking weed all the time. So he was just like, and like, God bless him, because it's fucking relatable. He's just like, basically, he got this big money contract and he's just sitting there hanging out with the family, smoking weed, playing video games, eating pizza, whatever, having himself a time. So he was saying that he was like kind of blown up during the match and it just didn't come off as well as he had hoped, and it was like kind of a big opportunity for him. And then it kind of just seemed like, this is my words, not his, that like after that opportunity, it just another one didn't come his way.
Right.
They kind of soured on him, and he was just sort of there collecting, you know, in the old JTG route of collecting checks.
Yeah, I mean, when was we haven't seen him on TV for a while, so like I said, it's not. Joey Janela, Marco Stunt, they weren't doing much with these guys anyway. So, I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to be an asshole here, but we're not losing anyone great here.
Yeah, I liked them, but I mean, it is what it is. They have a pretty bloated roster, and based on what they're, you know, how they were using him and what they were getting back for him, it wasn't really, I guess, worth it to them to keep it going. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can go ahead and say goodbye to Angelico too.
Man, imagine that though. Imagine like your partner is just sitting there, just like not doing anything, and you're still the Jannetty of the team.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I mean, listen, I had no problem with the guy wrestling. And first of all, he was amazing in Lucha Underground. He came here, it was like he was like drugged out. All he wanted to do was do stupid dances and flap his arms to not even keeping with the beat, which was worse. It was
Well,
awful.
I mean,
it was awful.
He's South African, but he's still a white guy through and through. He still has the white guy with him. I think what they were trying to do is they were trying to, I don't know if it was his call or theirs, but they were trying to make him a little bit more of a submission wrestler to sort of separate him from the other high-flying wrestlers that they had on their roster, which I think was a really bad move. Because like you said, he was great in Lucha Underground, but he was also being, you know, doing a lot of dives and flips and, you know, a lot of the more aerial acrobatic moves in Lucha Underground. And he was a little bit more grounded. I don't know if it was because of age or injuries or whatever, but he just wrestled a more subdued style, and that wasn't working either.
No, I wanted to see the guy jump off fucking balconies over the crowd.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. That was fucking amazing.
Which is now Sting's spot.
Obviously, even fucking, you know, old man Sting is out there jumping off the fucking railing now. We're fucking nuts, dude. Oh, fucking nuts. We'll get to that. But listen, Jack Evans will end up somewhere. We know that.
Probably back in AAA. I mean, he still lives in Mexico, so
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like it's that much of a reach for him to come back.
I could see him doing that. I could see him bouncing over to GCW here and there. I mean, there's a lot of promotions now that he can head out to, and you know, all the indies are obviously coming back with this, you know, COVID thing slowing down a bit. So,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I say it's slowing down. As soon as I say that, they're going to be like, new variant. So, now
You know, we never really got confirmation as to what that puppet was about.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Let's just leave it. Let's just leave it alone. Just leave it the fuck alone. Let's just leave it alone.
Biggest mysteries.
Oh, you know what? There was something else that happened last week, Smark. But this happened on Friday, so we still wouldn't have got to talk about it last week either way.
Oh?
Did you watch Rampage, Smark, last week?
I have not.
Did you hear about the barbed wire crown controversy, Smark?
Let's say that I have, but let's do for a refresher anyway.
Last week we had old Adam Hangman Page and Adam Cole, another Texas death match, which, can we slow down with these? Can we slow down with these? Look, I like them and all, but, you know, it's been like, literally you had one 2 weeks ago, and then I think 2 weeks before that. I'm tiring out.
If they're going to keep doing Texas death matches, they need to bring back that old, like, electric chair that they used in the WCW pay-per-view, the Chamber of Horrors match.
There you go. See that?
They put fucking Abdullah the Butcher in, and like he just had to like flail around because the pyrotechnics like didn't work or whatever. It was fucking ridiculous.
Mick Foley flipped the fucking cardboard switch that didn't even work.
That would have been great if the fucking knob came off in his hand.
It almost did. That was awful, that whole spot. Dude.
Fun fact, that happened at the UTC McKenzie Arena here in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh, there you go. There's something to be really proud of.
That was like one of our biggest pay-per-views. That and the pay-per-view that happened directly after Shawn Michaels quit, where they had the Fatal 4-Way for the world title to get to go to WrestleMania.
There you go. There you go. Okay. All right, Smark, let's get into some controversy now.
Yes.
So, Paige, Cole, the Adams, Texas Death Match. Match is pretty much wrapping up pretty much at the time. And old Hangman decides to wrap up some barbed wire in sort of crown fashion and throw it on Cole's head. Didn't stay on very long, but that's not the point. It was Good Friday.
Yes, it was. I can see the problem that we're running into here.
This crowded my feed to where literally, like, within 5 minutes, it was like, I didn't see anything. Then I saw one. And then 5 minutes later, I looked and I'm like 9 fucking scrolls. I'm like, there's still people talking. This is not good. Seems to have already died out somehow. Maybe because it really wasn't. I mean, listen, I'm not a religious person. I'm Jewish anyway. I really don't celebrate Easter. My kids, we get stuff for the kids. We do all that shit. But I don't think it was done with that intent. I don't think they were like, let's go mock the religious people. I really don't.
Right. No, I don't think so either. I mean,
yeah,
it's pre-recorded. So I think maybe it was just a matter of like, they went about the match and then maybe afterwards they're like, ooh, shit, uh-oh, big uh-oh.
Yeah.
Like, we done made a mistake. I feel like it would be more likely to be something like that than something that was actually planned with malice.
Right. I really, like Dirk said, though, I mean, Easter's over, so that's kind of why it died out. Yeah, you're right. I guess everybody just said, oh, fuck it, they're not going to do anything. Who gives a shit at this point?
Everybody's all glazed out on the Cadbury eggs.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I know it's 2022. We've got social media now, and things like this can definitely work themselves into a brouhaha. But first of all, it's wrestling. Secondly, we've seen worse. I mean, Jesus Christ, we saw Undertaker put Stephanie on basically damn near crucify and rape the girl.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Triple H fucking literally necrophilia H. We saw H. We saw. Okay, so I mean, let's be honest here. If you're can we stop being offended by everything as wrestling fans? We really should. There should be nothing we're offended by. We have seen some of the wildest shit in the world. Kurt Angle walked out of an ECW show because we saw someone literally get fucking crucified. Mm-hmm. Okay, we've seen this. We have seen these. We've seen religious angles. We've seen fucking all kinds of angles like this. I really feel as a wrestling fan, not much shocks me anymore.
That's sort of an interesting thing, though, is you say that you've seen everything, I've seen everything, not only with just all the wrestling that we've both seen, but I watch horror movies almost exclusively, so I've seen some really depraved shit. But we're getting to the point now where it's cycling around, though, that, we've seen it, but like nowadays, a lot of modern wrestling fans haven't. They grew up on the more, TV, PG, WWE era where there was like less of like even the Katie Vick thing was, I want to say, probably about 2004 at this point, 2005 maybe. So like a lot of the younger fans have just they haven't been around to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we got YouTube, man.
Well, yeah, anybody that follows wrestling on YouTube has seen those like, top 10 worst storylines or whatever, where Katie Vick is always brought up on those. So it's, I'm sure most people know of it, even if they haven't seen it with their own eyes. But it's a part of society as a whole, I think. It's just a tendency to get worked up over pretty much everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely weird. What people are starting to be offended. I know Sean Ross Sapp was kind of the first one that sort of started off this whole little, like I said, brouhaha over this.
Well, that raises a whole nother, other questions about that, where it's somebody who is purposely out there, maybe trying to do that for his platform to get more people focused on him, paying attention to him, following him, whatever, it's part of a journalist's duty to stir up shit sometimes, depending on how you choose to play.
Yeah, and just to remind people, Stone Cold Steve Austin, that awesome guy we just saw at WrestleMania have a fucking amazing match at his age. Y'all know how that fucking character was basically born? He made fun of John 3:16 when Jake Roberts went out there and was thumping his Bible in the ring.
Yeah, that whole Jake Roberts run there was kind of rough.
Well, he was a pretty hit.
Because you had Stone Cold mocking him for his religion, Jerry Lawler mocking him for his alcoholism. The poor guy who just, it was a rough comeback.
It was. But there's just, listen, you want to get upset about certain things, that's fine, I'm not worried about that. But really to be offended by something like this, again, I know it was bad timing. I really don't think it was done with, like I said, done with any malice. I don't think they were trying to make fun of religion. Maybe they were. I just don't think they were. I don't think it was that planned out. Honestly, a lot of people forget. Oh shit, it's Good Friday. I didn't remember till I found out I had the day off.
I always remember because it's a family tradition that we don't eat meat on Good Friday.
Oh, okay.
So we always stay kind of vigilant of when it's around the corner.
Well, there was one person who was very upset at AEW, and he tagged Adam Page and Adam Cole and TNT. That's where I draw the line. I've been supporting AEW up until this point. No one cares about my opinion, and that's fine. I'm just saying it was totally unnecessary, unacceptable, and I'll no longer be watching. I just want to point out this person's name, Rebel Vidiot. Rebel Bro 29. Rebel. Oh, you're a real rebel. This is so rebellious, dude.
He was a rebel with a cause.
Yeah. Down with the fucking man. What the fuck? How is this? What the fuck? Is this being a rebel now? Where have I been?
Is it possible that the rebel part of the name comes from maybe something else that isn't rebellion?
I don't know.
If you get what I'm getting at, perhaps he has a certain line of values, perhaps. Perhaps he believes in traditions of the old, perhaps.
Why?
Perhaps he has a flag that's a bit divisive in his den, perhaps.
I think I should just close this out. We should move on.
I'm just saying it's a possibility. But hey, you know what, Mr. Rebel 29, sir? I care about what you think, buddy.
I don't know. I think some Southern dude would have been like, that was good shit.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Someone get me another Busch Light. Hey, you don't give a shit. Someone get me another Busch Light. You know how fuck no one cares anymore, dude.
I don't think it's South. I don't think you mock Jesus, and I don't think you mock Dale Earnhardt. I think everything else is fair game.
And they actually did the whole religion thing a couple of weeks ago too. MJF did it with that.
Yeah, I think
that
more
was
than
purposely.
Anything, that fire was already stoked, so people were looking for things.
People are always going to be looking for things, man. That's just the way it is now.
Yeah, it is what it is.
They sit there and wait for that moment where they can put out that tweet and, oh, let's see how many likes it'll get. Oh, this is the best virtue signal I've done all week.
Virtue signal of the week brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
Fucking virtue signaling now is like the goddamn bat signal. You can fucking see it everywhere. It's just bright and shiny in your face. Just lights up the fucking sky.
I can't. And funny enough, they do have a new Batman out. So
they do. You're right. Is that Affleck in that one?
No, Robert Pattinson.
Oh,
the guy from Twilight, the Twilight lad. I'm just surprised that we're still doing this. And I mean, I'm in the minority, I guess, because they're still making a shit ton of money. But I'm surprised that it's been a trend that's been going on for seemingly about 20 or so years now.
Hey man,
of the superhero movies.
It works. You go with what works,
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. Honestly, I've heard it's a really good movie, but it's we're still doing Batman, and then still just the Joker. It's like he has a shit. I don't even know that much about the comic books, but he has a literal rogues gallery of villains, and you still just use like the same 3 every movie. So it's like,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Like Dirk says, it makes a lot of money. Like you were saying, it makes a lot of money.
Like I said, man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The franchise itself makes a ton of money. So yeah, it's not going nowhere, man. It ain't going nowhere.
I don't mind it. I mean, I'll probably end up watching it, but it's just like there's been so many trends within the window of the superhero movies being popular. Like we've gone from zombies, like vampires, and all kinds of other shit. And it's just like that one's still been consistently going. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm not, unfortunately. Dude, they're making Fast and Furious, Fast X.
Oh, no, those things will never die.
Oh my God. No, I want Fast the Last. That's the fucking Fast. I mean, I like the movies, but what are you doing? What are you doing? You went to space. It doesn't get any fucking better than space. That's it. That's it. You've blown your load. It's over.
Well, no, after you follow the Leprechaun like logic, because you go from space to the hood. Because you had Leprechaun in space, and then you had Leprechaun in the hood. The hood, D-A hood. They made like 2 or 3 of those.
I thought you meant they were going to drive on the rainbow.
That'd actually be pretty cool if they had a crossover where the Leprechaun was part of the Fast and Furious universe. I don't know if Dionne Warwick is still alive, but if not, Hornswoggle is available. He was in one of those.
Dionne Warwick? That's not his name.
Yeah, I think it is. Honestly, hold on. I could be wrong, but I think it's Dionne Warwick.
Not Dionne Warwick. I think Warwick Davis is his name.
Ah, I was very close.
Without looking, Warwick Davis, you were mixing. You were going totally somewhere else. You weren't thinking.
All right,
Dionne.
You know what? I like this movie better. I don't necessarily think she's maybe a traditional Irish person, but we can keep it. We can keep it moving. It can work.
Yeah, that was Warwick Davis, I believe you're thinking of right there.
Slip of the tongue. Slip of the tongue. I like it though. I mean, she's still alive. Dionne Warwick.
I'm like, how does that not sound right? That's not the right guy. No.
Warwick Davis. Oh boy, I'm gonna lose my horror movie cred on this one.
Oh man, I've been sitting too long already. My ass hurts. Okay. Oh, all right. Anyway, Smark, you still got a couple left. I got a couple left, and then we get in Dynamite.
Yes. All right. So we did a double feature of people leaving. Now we're going to do a double feature of litigation. And I'm saving the best for last, but we're going to get into this one first. Yeah. We talked about a while back here. It's from F4W Online, GCW and IWTV, Independent Wrestling TV. They were at ends with each other. So here's more about that. There was a lawsuit filed. GCW and IWTV have reached a settlement. IWTV filed a lawsuit against GCW for breach of contract in 2021. The streaming service claimed they had an exclusive agreement with the promotion for filming, producing, and digitally distributing their pay-per-view content. IWTV alleges GCW broke that deal when they began streaming their events on Fight TV in December 2020. GCW announced on Wednesday that they have reached a settlement regarding the lawsuit. Quote, Game Changer Wrestling is pleased to announce that we have come to terms on a settlement with IWTV that brings an end to litigation between the parties. Reads GCW's statement, quote, this agreement represents a significant milestone for GCW, but most importantly serves as a victory for independent wrestling and its fans. The statement continues to say that as part of the settlement, GCW will produce a series of 8 live to-be-streamed on IWTV events that will be titled, quote, the Settlement Series. I love that.
Oh.
The Obligation Series.
Oh.
Coming soon. That is so petty and salty, but I love it. Oh. God bless you, Brett. The events will take place within the next year with dates and locations being announced in the coming weeks. I'm going to go ahead and just recommend you don't buy tickets to that because I imagine the cards are going to purposely be shit. Anyways, this last year has been trying as a small business. Our resources are not unlimited. Litigation was a last resort, but a necessary step in establishing our independence, the statement continues. So there you go. They have a make good going on. They're going to be doing 8 legally obligated events.
Wow, that's pretty cool, man. I got to tell you, man, for a little independent company to take on something like that and actually get a win and get this set of the litigation series. Oh, that's fucking awesome right there, man. I think
I do
this
love
is
the
good.
settlement series. I honestly, truly do believe that those cards are going to purposely be bad.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful right there. I like it. I think you're right. I think they might be like, let's just put on some shit. We're fucking free. This is like
a fucking just like 4-hour long Iron Man match between like Jimmy Lloyd and G Raver.
This is like a fucking free roll in poker when you can't lose the hand. The worst you can do is split the pot. It's like, oh fuck, I don't care. Win, I don't care. Win, lose, I'm good.
Yeah, because I mean, how much are they really going to be making? Like, how much are they going to be making from this? Even if the shows are good, their partnership is still over.
Yeah.
So like, it really doesn't behoove them to go all out for these shows.
And you know that they're not going to put a whole bunch of fucking advertising on because this station's going to be like, they're forcing us to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, good win for GCW, man. I think that's fucking really awesome, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I think this is I think he's right. I don't think he's going all hyperbole when he says this is a win for independent wrestling. I think he's right.
I do too. I mean, and like we talked about, like the kind of time and money and effort and resources, especially during the pandemic when the money was kind of shaky in the first place.
Right.
They could have stood to have lost quite a bit, especially like including their company potentially. So the fact that they made it out relatively unscathed seemingly seems to be a good thing for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely, man. They stood through a lot of hard times there, man. They made it through and did this. Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good for them, man. Good for them. All right. So let's see. I got one here that we can kind of keep on that note.
Okay.
It's Trademarks, though. WWE has been changing a lot of ring names lately. We do know that. They've been filing trademarks for tons of new ring names. Ring names like Roxanne Perez, Alba Fire, who was just announced as, I think, Kaylee Ray. No, Kaylee Ray wasn't Alba Fire. It was the other girl. I forgot who it was. I forget. Someone was announced with that name. Cruz Del Torio, another name, and Katana Chance. I believe that was Kaylee Ray, wasn't it?
I'm looking it up here. When I type in, yeah, you're right. It was Alba Fire.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Katana Chance was someone else too. So, here, wait. Let me just look that up. Search Google. And there we go. Chance. Okay. That's a new gimmick for... Oh, Casey Cannizzaro. That's Casey Canizzaro's new name. Katana Chance.
Sounds like a character that wasn't good enough to make it into Mortal Kombat.
Sounds like a character you'd see in a different show, possibly a movie.
Perhaps.
With other things going on. Anyway.
I'm glad they fought their best urges to give the name Katana Chance to somebody who is an Asian.
Yeah.
Because I could have really seen them doing that and have been like, boy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And WWE actually added some more. They added Troy Donovan, Tia Hale, Thea, and Channing Lauren. I'm thinking it's going to be
are terrible.
Channing Lauren, maybe. These are awful. Alba Fire might be one of the fucking worst names I've ever fucking heard.
Actually, I think my grandparents have an Alba Fire.
Do they?
Yeah, it helps them keep track with what they got to do throughout the day. It's made by Amazon.
It does sound like a tablet or something you'd have in your house.
That's it.
Oh, I got my new Alba Fire the other day, dude. It was badass.
Hell yeah.
I think it's worked for the CIA, though.
It's definitely listening in on.
I definitely think it's a listening device. Now it's in my home. Hey, I didn't want one of those fucking Amazon cubes that has Alexa on it, and it does it all the time. The bad thing is my daughter learned how to use Alexa.
Mm-mm.
So she'll come in, Alexa off, and just shut the TV. And we're like, what the fuck? So we got to, and we'll turn it off, but she'll go over and push the little microphone button, which turns it right back on. She's too smart, this little 2-year-old dude. It's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I can't even believe it. I mean, I can barely understand her, and she just goes, Alexa, off. And it shuts off the TV.
It is kind of crazy, like the amount of, because now pretty much everybody just like raises their kids to be dependent upon the tablets.
Yeah.
So like it's crazy nowadays, like of how kids, like really young kids, are way more technologically advanced than how you would have been or I would have been at that age. It's just they already know how to operate all these tablets and laptops and things like that because that's their de facto parents.
Oh, my 2.5-year-old, if we put her in the car with her little pink Kindle, she'll pull up TV shows and whatever, or little like Bubble Guppies and Paw Patrol and all those shows. She'll pull them all up and watch them. She loves it.
He was like, I was lucky to get the fucking remote working when I was a kid.
I was lucky to have a TV in my room when I was a kid.
I had a TV in my room. It started off, I worked my way up because originally I had like a black and white TV when I was like 5 or 6. And then I just like, as I got older, I started actually getting decent TVs. Yeah. I thought it was I was on the top of the fucking world when I had one that was a TV VCR, so you could record things on cable.
Get those dirty channels.
Mm-hmm.
Those fuzzy.
I did have a VHS tape of just sort of the best of BET Uncut, and if those who are listening that know about BET Uncut know exactly what I'm talking about. It was a quality time when you did not have regular access to a computer.
Well, I mean, we had fuzzy channels back then.
This is true.
Yeah. You were like,
well, being the dork that I was, I would like use those to try to watch wrestling. Because every so often you get a little bit of wrestling here and there on the pay-per-views. And then I developed more advanced technology in terms of that. There was like, I found on Yahoo chats, people would play the audio. And if you were really lucky, sometimes people would play a very slow, laggy webcam feed of it.
There you go.
And then eventually you got to like the First Row Sports and where we are now and all that shit. But for a while there, when you were trying to steal shit, it was very complicated.
Nice. Oh, shit. Excuse me. I'm not going to lie. I'm getting fucking tired. Been up since fucking 5:30. So, WWE, once again, filing trademarks. I told you, and I think everybody knew, once they start moving people up, they want to own everything and everybody. This is how they're going to do it. They're going to change names. No one's going to have their indie name anymore. This, from what I read, all the dirt sheets, this is all coming straight from McMahon. I don't want any more indie names. I want to own everything.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
I don't either, but, Mind Fuhrer has spoken.
I mean, as often as they were releasing people now, I mean, you don't want to make a star out of somebody, I guess that's how they look at it, and then you get rid of them and they use the same name.
True. Very true. I mean, like when they leave W or AEW, they can just take their name and everything because they don't buy that shit. They don't go for the rights to all that stuff. So, I don't know. But, yeah, there are going to be a lot of name changes coming up. I got a feeling we're going to see a lot of trademarks in the next few weeks. We're not going to talk about them all, but we'll just wanted to kind of let you know it's a brewing, folks. It's a brewing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll tell you what, Smark. Let me hit my little last one here because mine's not a big one, and then we'll wrap up on yours because yours is much better. We had talked about how WWE is doing some shows over in the UK. Going to be going to London, going to be going to Paris, going to be traveling all over Europe. They've added a few more shows. They added shows in both London and Paris. They've actually added 3 matches for both house shows that they're going to do while they're over there. It's going to be a 4-show European tour. First 3 matches they've already put out there. This one doesn't surprise me. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Not surprising. They've been working on that for a while. SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair will defend against Ronda Rousey again. They don't learn, do they?
No.
Raw Tag Team Champions RK Bro will be going against the Usos, and that's going to. They don't say that's for the titles, but are they going to unify those two?
I don't know. I don't think they do. I don't think they had any plans on doing that. From what I was hearing, the plan on unifying the main belt, like the World Heavyweight belt, was temporary as well.
I can see that. Both shows want a champion that they can, have. So, but it doesn't hurt to have Roman Reigns right now. Let's be honest. I mean, who else do they have that really would be as good as Roman Reigns at this point for both shows?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of I get what you're saying, and that is the overwhelming from the network executives. That's what they're saying is that they want their own champions. But I feel like the idea of having a Roman Reigns or a Brock Lesnar or whoever the top guy is going to be at any given time, having him on both shows is more beneficial to each show and each network than having 2 or 3 guys that are sort of top guys but not really. Because, I mean, that's the thing is, they're not making new stars. You only have, 1 or 2 genuine stars on any given brand. So it's the idea of having more or having more star power on each show seems like it would be better for companies or better for the networks. But it is what it is. Yeah.
I mean, I see what you're saying. You're right. It would be, but I don't know. On those same shows, though, you got Bobby Lashley. You got Sasha Banks and Naomi. You got Ricochet. You got Gunther. And they're also going to be announcing very soon some shows over there in Germany. Holy fuck, is Gunther going to be over?
Do you think we'll be seeing Butch in the UK?
I do. I do think we'll be seeing old Butch over there. I think he's going to be pretty goddamn over, too.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think he'll be just fine over there, old Butch himself. But that was really it. No, like I said, I didn't think we needed to. That was probably not the story to end on. So, Smark, take it away, my man.
Okay, it is. I think anybody, we're 250, so let's kind of pull back the curtain a little bit. There are certain people that we love talking about on this year's show, and unfortunately, Teddy Hart don't have much pop in these days, so we're not going to be able to talk about him. But it just feels right to mention him at least once in episode 250. However, who we are going to be talking about is Sunny. And Sunny is being sued over a fatal car accident she was involved in last month that led to the death of a 75-year-old man. PW Insider reports that a civil lawsuit has been filed against Sytch and boyfriend James F. Pentee, is how I'm going to choose to describe his name, by the estate of Julian L. Lassiter, I like that name, who was killed on March 25th in Ormond Beach, Florida. The lawsuit is seeking an excess of $30,000. Good luck. According to PW Insider, Can't Bleed a Stone, the lawsuit alleges negligence by Sytch. In addition, Sytch's boyfriend, Patine, is vicariously liable. Take 3. Vicariously liable for Sytch's actions by allowing her to use his vehicle. The lawsuit further states that the Lassiter family has sustained medical and funeral expenses as a result of Sytch's actions, and Lassiter's adult daughter, quote, has suffered and will suffer into the future the loss of her father's companionship, instruction, guidance, and mental pain and suffering as a result of her father's death. Neither Sytch or Pentee have responded to the lawsuit. An Ormond Beach Police Department report stated that Sytch, who does not have a valid driver's license, of course, you don't need one of those, crashed into Lassiter's stopped vehicle. Oh, boy. Witnesses reported that I scrolled up. Witnesses reported that Sytch's vehicle was traveling at, quote, a high rate of speed. Lassiter then crashed into a third vehicle. The driver and the passengers of the third vehicle were not hospitalized, but complained of neck, back, side, and head injuries. Sytch has not been arrested for the incident, as authorities are currently awaiting toxicology report from a blood sample obtained while Sytch was hospitalized. An online obituary for Lassiter has been published.
This is awful, dude. Just this whole thing is awful. And, this is I'm not. I'm going to say it's odd. I was about to say it's funny, but there's nothing funny at all about this. It's odd that this is happening. Usually, the civil trials happen after the criminal trials. If nothing happens in the criminal trial, then the civil trial will proceed. Sometimes they still proceed with it, even though you're in jail. Now, I hate to say, Smark, you were saying that she's broke. She's not in jail. She can run her OnlyFans, and she can make $30,000 probably in one night.
Man, I mean, it is what it is, I guess, if you have like a sentimental attachment to her. But like, if you think about all the other female wrestlers that are running an OnlyFans and are probably charging similar rates.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, let's pay the money to go to a steakhouse, but instead we're going to go to a McDonald's.
Well, at McDonald's will shove its finger up your ass.
Well, yes, this is true. I guess that's kind of the thing.
Wait, up their ass. Hold on. Wait.
I wouldn't put it past her. I mean, she needs money. Your ass, her ass, anything goes. My way, your way, anything goes tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, well, there you go. And we're not trying to make light of this. I got to tell you, though, when this is talking about the, obviously the funeral expenses and the adult daughter that's, not going to have her father around anymore, the companionship, the instruction, the guidance, this is just fucking absolutely awful to hear, man. And you know what? If toxicology,
it's a hard word to say.
It is. If that report shows, that she was intoxicated in any way, they're going to come. I mean, they're taking her right to jail, man. Right to fucking jail. She didn't just bump into someone and cause a little fucking damage. She caused a death. A person was fucking taken from this earth because of her. Either way, this is because of her fucking stupidity. Shouldn't even be fucking driving. She has no goddamn license. Talk about things that could have been avoided, dude. Talk about a life that should be here by some that could have been completely fucking avoided, and this is it. This is fucking heartbreaking for this family to go through. Heartbreaking.
Right, and especially when you reach the age of like 75, chances are you've probably gone through things and survived them and made it out of them. And, to be at that point in your life and then that's how it all ends is just like, it's depressing. It's disappointing. I feel for, like you're talking about the daughter there who doesn't have a father anymore, and presumably I'd imagine he's somebody's husband or whatever. There's more to other relationships outside of just being a father that have been severed because of this. And like you said, she doesn't have a license, and you don't want to make any predictions, but based on previous incidents, one could absolutely assume that she was under some kind of an influence. We're going to find out sooner than later on that, but. It's just like you said; it could have totally been avoided.
It really could have, and it's just a sad situation. I mean, literally, if she had just fucking decided not to drive, everything would have been fine. Everything would have been fine. Everybody would have gone home. Everybody would still have everyone around. I know things like this happen, and it's a crazy world we live in. You can tell that everything happens for a reason. Well, Good Friday's over, so fuck that shit.
Oh, me, oh my. But I mean, yeah, like, I don't know, like driving without a license is some shit you do when you're like 16 or 7.
Yeah.
Like, she is an adult woman. She is well into 30s, 40s, wherever she's at this point. Just, it's so fucking unnecessary. And that's why I don't have any problems clowning on her specifically, because it's one thing after the other, and she's done nothing at all to take any accountability or to change as a person in any tangible way.
Nope.
Based on all these reports that we see almost yearly.
Well, I mean, I've said before, I know someone at work that knows someone that knows Sunny very well, like has been with her through, I mean, they've brought up ECW days.
Yeah.
So that's how long she's known been around wrestlers and known a lot of people, but she says that Sunny doesn't think she has a problem, doesn't want help, doesn't think she doesn't need help, thinks everything is fine. This is just, it'll all blow over. It'll all blow over. Says she is goddamn delusional right now.
Is she, though? Because, I mean, what of consequence has she faced?
She sat in jail.
Genuine consequence over the last couple of years.
Sitting in jail should wake someone up. It should at least tell an adult, man, maybe I need to get a little, find at least some path to start taking to stay out of this place. She can't run her OnlyFans. She's not making money in prison unless they're letting her fucking sit there and, stick her finger in places she shouldn't. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she is, but I doubt it. So you just think that would wake an adult up. Holy fuck, I was in prison. I know some adults don't give a fuck. I'll go right back. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And then there's some adults.
She's on her Nick Gage grind.
There you go. But at some point, she's every charge now is either drunk driving or this or that. And let me put it this way. I'd be willing to make a bet that this test comes back that she was drunk. Minimum yeah. Drunk. So I don't know, man. It's just, something has to wake you up. And you either have to, listen, they say the first step is admitting you have a problem. She doesn't think she has a problem. She doesn't want help. She doesn't think she needs help. She doesn't know why she wouldn't, why would I want help? I don't need it. I have no problems. You can't help that person. Unfortunately, that person has to hit rock bottom. If this isn't rock bottom for her, that's going to be the problem, because this should be seriously rock bottom. Problem is, she's out there still tweeting like nothing happened and she didn't fucking take someone's life. But anyway, I will digress one more time.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's entirely right. And it's, I don't know, not necessarily funny, but like, I always go back to that moment when I think about, you're talking about OnlyFans, and it's like, who would pay for these things? Especially some of the more exorbitant fees on some of them. Because we're talking about like monthly fees and pay-per-views and this, that, and the third. I always double back to that moment. We talked about it in the show before, where it was like, I forget what the convention was, but it was some kind of fan convention where for a nominal fee, you could take photos in bed with Sunny. And it was like a lot of people. There were a lot of replica belts touching those sheets that day. And it was just like, anytime I'm like, who would pay money for this? I always think about that. It's like, those are the people that are paying money for this.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised who would pay money for this shit. I'm going to pour more water. I know you guys can probably hear this, but I'm going to give myself some more water here. Yeah, I just these stories are getting worse and worse with her. They're just getting progressively worse.
Yeah. Well, because before it was normally just her. Like, she was doing stuff that negatively impacted her. There was that one report of like, maybe it happened, maybe it didn't, where she was trying to get New Jack to like kill a cop on her behalf. So like, that wasn't just her, but nothing ever really came of that. So even if it was true, you just kind of sweep it under the rug or whatever. But now she literally killed somebody because of, at the very least, some form of negligence. She didn't have a license. She shouldn't have been behind a wheel. Even if she was completely clean and sober, she still broke a law. True. And it still resulted in a life being taken.
Yeah, and I mean, it's I don't know, man. I can't just keep saying the same thing over and over, but it's just absolutely ridiculous that people have to keep going through this shit. And this is something we talked about, I believe, like 2 times ago when she got a fucking DUI. We were like, man, it's not just her life she's putting in danger if she drives like that. It's everyone on the fucking road that passes her, that comes in contact with her, that's driving near her, front of her, behind her, beside her, coming at her. Everyone is at fucking risk, dude. Sitting at a fucking stoplight.
Right.
A stopped car. Sitting there, dum-de-dum-de-dum, probably listening to some great music, loving his life. Boom. 75 years old, gone. Might have had 10, 15 years left, maybe more.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, you never know when they'll be one of those people that are on the Today Show that's like, meet Bob. He's 115 and he eats bacon every day.
Yeah, smokes cigarettes, drinks nothing but Miller Lite. Love him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good old Bob.
The good old Bob. Good old drinking Bob. Good old drunk Bob. Oh, when Bob gets drunk, we just laugh. He's funny. Funny Bob. Funny drunk Bob. Oh, how old is he? 150.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to be. I want to be old. I want to be in pain. I want to be screaming at people and not even know I did it and just drink.
There you go.
That's what I want to do. I want to be a burden on my children. I want them to feel the same pain I felt as they were growing up.
I have two like sort of dreams in this department. Chiefly amongst them is I want to be at an age where it is believable that I could lose my mental faculties while not losing my mental faculties, so I can pretend that I'm off my fucking rocker just so I can have fun with it. That'll be like the last 10 years of my life, ideally. Or I am in the process of learning Spanish, and what I would like to do is just like learn Spanish without anybody else who like knows me or loves me knowing that. And then at some point I just slip into full dementia and like the only thing I speak is Spanish and people are just really fucking confused.
Ooh, I like that one.
Mm-hmm. I'm just in a rocking chair somewhere, just fucking full on, no English whatsoever, and people are just confused.
You want to know what's confusing? I'll do this real quick and then we'll get into AEW, I promise. My kids, my older one, my 13-year-old's old troop at our when we lived in the other city down in Carrollton, there was a kid there. His parents have never been to Britain, none of their family is British, been to the UK, nothing. The kid, though, for some reason, speaks with a British accent. It's the weirdest thing in the world. I mean, perfect British. It doesn't even seem like it's fake, like it comes off his lips like it's real. They said he started speaking that way as a child and has done it since. It's so fucking weird. He's not adopted. He looks just like the dad. You can. It's there. Just for some reason, he has a heavy British accent. It's very strange, but
All I can think of is maybe like TV shows, but
I don't know. I don't think they were watching BBC over there. Not that BBC.
right. Yeah, I don't think Downton Abbey is really popular with the 4 to 8-year-old demographic.
I don't know. You never know. Maybe he was watching a lot of Benny Hill.
There you go.
Anyway, all right. Let's get into Dynamite. Let's see if we can knock this bad boy out in about 15, 20 at the most. I don't see why we can't. I didn't think it was a bad show tonight. I think it felt like a rushed show. I'd said that earlier in the night that I think this felt like a rushed show, especially when we got to the main event. I thought it felt super like they were fucking in fast forward mode. This started out as usual with AEW. Started out with a match. We got CM Punk versus Dustin Rhodes. And Smark, I don't know if you caught this in the beginning, but the fucking crowd was hot for this match.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, this was a really good match. Besides the last, I would say, minute to minute and a half, Dustin looked like he couldn't go another. If the match was another 2 minutes, I'm not sure he would have made it.
I mean, potentially, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and he performed well, like you said, up until that point. But I mean, he is getting up there in age, and he's been wrestling for fucking forever.
Oh,
He's been wrestling as long as I've been alive, and I'm pulling up on 32 at this moment.
Yeah, I am not shitting on the guy. He had it was a great fucking match between these two guys. I thought the little hug and handshake and all that shit at the end for the show respect was really a fucking good idea. But just a great match between them. And then I thought this was pretty clever of them to do. I know it's not anything new, but Punk's going up the ramp after him and Dustin have their little moment, and Punk's walking up the ramp. Here, Hangman's music hit, and he just comes out, and we get a nice little stare. And boy, the crowd was just cowboy shit. There's only Punk's going to have to do a heel turn to go in this match because it's just not going to work. The crowd they're going to be 50-50, but the crowd was chanting. I heard more cowboy shit chants than CM Punk chants, I'll tell you that.
Let's see, SBC here says old Rust, that bitter bum. So he wasn't necessarily a fan of this. Another quick. I already said that I talked every WrestleMania thing, but on that show that I was talking to you about, the WrestleCon show, Jimmy Wang Yang was on that show.
Oh,
And the crowd started chanting cowboy shit at him, and he got a nice chuckle out of that. He wasn't expecting it.
that's good stuff right there. That's a good crowd. That's a good crowd right there. I like that.
I guess that's sort of the Punk versus Hangman. I guess is probably going to be the main event for this coming pay-per-view, seemingly.
I would think it would be, and I think that's a hell of a fucking match right there.
I wonder. I mean, enough time has gone by that it is plausible that he could lose the belt. Like, he's only had a couple of defenses because it was like Archer and then I think Cole a couple of times, and I think that's been it. But it's still been a couple of months at this point, so it's possible. So, I mean, we'll see, but the suspense is actually starting to kind of come of it now when he starts defending the belt.
Oh, if fucking Punk wins the belt. Sir, this is what happens. You bring in the WWE guy, takes a spot from these fucking young guys, they give him the belt. This is what happens. AEW is just like fucking TNA. Just like fucking TNA. I told you it was just like TNA.
I mean, it's going to happen at
I'm
some
tired.
point. Somebody that is a former WWE guy is going to have that belt.
Jericho was their first guy to have the fucking belt.
That's true, yeah.
They had a WWE, and those were the fucking complaints. You come in, fucking WWE guy. Supposed to be an AEW guy. Why would you get... Oh...
Well, I completely forgot the history of the belt because it went from Jericho to Moxley. I was like, yeah, someday a former WWE guy is going to have, like multiple people have.
Never mind. To Moxley and a couple of WWE guys former WWE guys have already had that bad boy. And you got the bitching about it. And you're going to get it even more if it's Punk. He's old, he's washed up. He might give it fucking back to Jericho. Why not? Oh, Jesus. They will. Watch.
Oh, no, pretty much everybody's turned on Jericho at this point. Those same people, anyway.
I haven't turned on Jericho. I still like
Jericho.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's a lot of people that are just like, oh, he's just retired. Like, why? Like, are you really in that big of a rush to see, like, more fucking QT Marshall segments?
Yeah, exactly. The more we get Jericho, the more someone doesn't show up, and I'm fine with that. So let's keep it going. All right. So, I think I hear a fucking helicopter above my house. If the window's breaking, I get swatted. Pay no attention. Pay no attention to what's going on behind the window.
There was a real tense moment for both of us there because you heard a phantom helicopter. I'm in the middle of watching this here Bulls Bucks game, and Aaron Rodgers showed up on the television. So we both sort of grimaced in unison.
Okay. Different reasons, obviously.
Yes.
All right, so we had Mark Sterling after this. He's backstage. He meets Wardlow. Wardlow's got that match tonight. He had the match with what's his name? Butcher.
The Butcher.
Butcher. No.
Who had on some real slick sunglasses tonight, huh?
I do got to tell you, Butcher looked fucking mean, and he looked good tonight, man. He looked like he was ready to fucking...
him. He looks like a wrestler.
I agree, man. I know he's old. I know we ain't got much money. I know he can't do much more. I know he doesn't move great, but I got to tell you, his look, his gimmick, and I mean, did you see him out there doing the knee drops and shit? He was ready to fucking go tonight, dude.
Yeah. I mean, he moves well enough, I guess, but I root for him. I feel like he's kind of being held back a little bit because he's in that tag team, and that tag team's going absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
But I've always liked him. He has a cool look. He looks like a wrestler.
Yeah, he really does. Real quick. Wardlow got the rules for the night, and then they handcuffed him to bring him back there. So then we'll just go to that match, and then we'll go back to the Bryan Danielson thing. It's no big deal. Bryan Danielson match. Butcher looked great. I thought it was. I was laughing when the MJF's music hit. You're like, oh, he's coming down for commentary. Nope, he's up in the skybox eating popcorn with Sean Spears.
I also like how they didn't allow him to have Wardlow to have his entrance music or the little entrance video, whatever they call it. They don't have a Titantron, obviously, but whatever it is, their video sequence. He had basically no frills. He just came out and he was in handcuffs and then took the handcuffs off and it was time to go.
I thought it was, you know what? I do have to give it to him for a little bit of continuity. They at least made him come out with the handcuffs on.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that, dude, how many companies would have been like, well, he was handcuffed in the back, but he's got to come out and do his thing. Nah, I think it was great. They had him handcuffed, and then literally it was like they unchained him to go in the ring and do what he was going to do. You knew what was going to happen. Yeah, you know what, Smark? You said this was a predictable show. This was definitely a predictable match. I think we all knew what was going to happen here.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think it's cooler that they bring him out in handcuffs. It makes him look like more of a menace.
I gotta say, first thing that came to my mind, oh, tell me he's not going to break the handcuffs.
He probably will at some point.
No, this is not. I don't need Ken Shamrock again. No, I don't need that. It was, but it popped in my mind, and I'm like, no, yeah. There's Eric. What's going on, Eric? Everything Unscripted Wrestling Podcast. And it was the first thing that hit my mind is, oh, please don't go down, don't go break the fucking handcuffs. And I just thought it would be fucking awful to do, and I'm really happy they didn't go with that cheesy, predictable, kind of predictable. I couldn't. I know I wasn't the only one who thought maybe that's going to happen. Wardlow though hit 4 power bombs, gets the win, and I got to tell you, I think me, you, all of us, the crowd, everyone's just ready to see him get his hands on fucking MJF at this point. Everyone. Yeah,
they're building up to that moment really well.
I agree. I think they're definitely building it up. And every time they keep building it and building it and building it, it's just going to get better and better. And when he finally does, man, that crowd's going to fucking explode because they are actually, it's funny. This is one of the first guys I've seen that they took off TV and he's getting more over.
Mm-hmm.
With just going out there for 3 minutes at a time. Fucking beautiful. He's not even saying anything. He's just going out there, doing his thing, and that's it. He's over.
Yeah, in today's wrestling world, squash matches are kind of hard to get people over in, I feel like. Because it shows what you can do, but then, people catch on to it, and they know what's coming, and then, some people just sort of lose interest, but they've been doing this with him for a while now, where he just comes out and just powerbombs somebody into oblivion and picks up the win. And so far, it's only seemed to help him each time. So it's it's good for them.
Eric is saying that Wardlow's become one of his favorites. I got to tell you, man, you want to cheer for him. Yeah, he really makes you want, and you wouldn't think that because he's this big jacked guy who, he's just fine, but. Nah, man, he's a guy you want to cheer for. They're definitely doing a great job at getting him over. And let's face it, he's a big part of that. Just, and I think it's fucking awesome. I don't think he did too much before all this. And they might have their first true homegrown star on their hands with Wardlow.
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah. And look, they're working on a few of them. They're going to do it with Wardlow. I mean, I guess you could call Adam Page one, but he's had a career elsewhere. Wardlow, no, he hasn't really. Jade Cargill, another one. They're going to have another star with there as a female one. So they're definitely going to have some stars coming out of this company, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
All right, so we're going to jump back. It was ridiculous to. All right, well, let's wait and we'll go back. No, it was ridiculous to do that. So, Blackpool Combat Club, Danielson, Yuta, finally now pretty much, I would say, official member. Moxley was out. It was all 3 of them. Regal on commentary, which seems to just get better each week, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
This was versus Brock Anderson, Dante Martin, and Lee Moriarty. Dude, I mean, literally, this was another obvious. We knew what was going to happen here. When Brock, Dante, or Lee didn't have a fucking entrance, I think we knew what was winning here.
Yeah, I felt bad because Brock was the only person that actually looked like they had posed any credible threat to any of them, because he got some offense in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we all knew what the score was.
We knew it was going down in this match. We did. I mean, it was still a good match. All 3 of the guys beat the shit out of Brock, Dante, and Lee. Definitely got the win. I got to tell you though, I think Yuta fits in well. Did you catch his little slip when they were holding their arms up tonight?
I did not. What happened?
They're at the end of the match. You know how they do. They're holding their arms up, and Yuta had this giant smile on his face. He within a second he catches the camera on him, and he goes right to a scowl.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Yes, you have to scowl.
It was hilarious. I don't know who else caught it. If you go back and watch though, right when they show him, he immediately he had this big smile on his face, and then he sees the camera on him, and I thought it was great. I thought it was fucking great. But listen, I mean, it wasn't like this amazing match, but Blackpool Combat Club is doing what they said they were going to do: go out there, beat the fuck out of people, and fucking leave.
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of have to build it up this way because there's a couple of different trios that they have at their disposal. So you want to have them kind of every one of them pick up a couple of easy wins at first, and then we're going to start getting to the point where you see them like going up against House of Black or whatever, a couple of the other trios that they have, and it'll actually mean something when that does happen. So it's just a little bit of a matter of waiting.
Oh yeah, definitely, most definitely. But I thought this was pretty good shit, man. I thought this was one of the better, even being predictable, this was still one of the better segments. I'm not even sure you can call this a match. They just fucking, it was a brawl.
Yeah.
But I still liked it. Right after that, Smark, we had the huge announcement by Tony Khan. He was a bit calmer, even though not completely. He brings out the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And before he can say, what's his name, Mark? I didn't catch it.
Oh, boy. I pronouncing it. I know it, but pronouncing it's a little bit difficult. But yeah, he was out there.
I'm not
he brought in the New Japan president.
Yeah, I'm not going to put you on the spot then. Before the president could even say anything after him and Tony shook hands, Cole interrupts. He's on the screen, Tron, whatever you want to call it. The big monitor. And he says, the only one that should be making announcements tonight is me. And he does make an announcement. He announces that on June 26th, they're going to have a pay-per-view called The Forbidden Door, another funny name, in Chicago at the United Center. And he also announces that he's going to be having a match with Ishii. Is it next Wednesday or Friday? I forgot.
Friday, I believe.
It is Friday night. It is Friday night. Thank you, Smart. So there you go. You got those two right there. So there you go. You got the match with Ishii, which is a pretty big deal. You've got the joint pay-per-view, Forbidden Door. I think now we know why Tony decided to put a little trademarky mark on that name.
I still just can't believe that's what they're going to call it.
I think it's fucking hilarious. I think it's a shot. Of fuck you to a lot of people. Oh, you guys said that Forbidden Door. Oh, you said I didn't do the Forbidden Door right. Here we go. It is kind of, and Dirk is saying it's kind of like the 1995 Starrcade. It's kind of like Supercard that they used to do also with WCW. And it is. But I believe Supercard, they used to go over there. This looks like they're going to be coming. I mean, this is them coming here. I think that's it's a pretty big deal. I think this joint show is a pretty big deal. I think it's going to be good. And I just think the name of it is just a shot. I think it's just a big fuck you to a lot of people. I like it.
Yeah, they announced it's going to be at the United Center. I believe it's June 28th.
6th.
26th. Yeah, I figured it was either 6 or 8, and I got them confused. But yeah, it's going to be at the United Center.
Yep.
Which would be cool if I still lived there. I need to get back.
There you go. Here's a good reason, Mark. You got till June, man. You got till June. Cole also announced that he had someone else coming out. Jay White comes back out. It's like, holy fuck, I forgot they said something about that guy a few months ago. Mm-hmm. Takes the mic from Tony Khan. Says the last time New Japan was here in the USA, he himself sold out Madison Square Garden. Basically just kind of kept going with all that. Then finally he said, listen, it's not just about the Bullet Club. It's about the Undisputed Elite and the Bullet Club. I see a big clusterfuck of a giant tag team match heading our way. How about you?
Yeah, I think so. I wonder like what portion of the Bullet Club they're going to use for that, because they've sort of broken into factions.
Yeah.
And there's a faction in the Bullet Club that is not very good, and I hope they do not use them.
Yeah, they got the Wolf Pack, they got Black and Red. They got, it's all split up now. Oh no, it wasn't that good, was it? Sorry.
I don't know if it's you or me, but there's a delay here.
Really?
Yeah, you were coming off a little. It sounds better now, but you're coming off a bit tinny. But that could be on my end. But I don't know.
I could have moved away from the mic or something. I'm halfway falling asleep here. I ain't gonna lie.
There we go. Okay, the delay's gone now, though.
Okay. Good. Go away, delay.
Would probably also help if I wasn't streaming a basketball game, but it's almost over, and the Bulls are going to win. So suck it, Luke Birch. Anyways.
Yeah, that might be your problem, not mine. Anyway, we're going to run down a little bit, go back to where we were, back to the Owen Hart tournament qualifying match between Kyle O'Reilly versus Jungle Boy. I liked this match. Yeah, I did. I liked this match. Actually, Dirk did say that I fizzled out for a second. I'm sorry. But yeah, I like this match. I like that Kyle O'Reilly's wrestling sort of a more brutal MMA style than he was in WWE. I like it. I enjoy it. I thought this was kind of like the Bruiser versus the High Flyer, and I enjoyed the match. I didn't think it was amazing. I didn't think it was great, but it was an enjoyable match with O'Reilly winning it.
They have good chemistry. Like the whole Red Dragon and then, the Jurassic Express, all of everybody's that's involved in that. They have good chemistry. They've had, mainly just the tag matches, but like they had the tag match last week for the belt. It was Red Dragon, Jurassic Express, and I think I don't know. I don't remember if the Young Bucks were also in it, but I don't think they were. But it was a really good match last week too. They just have that kind of good chemistry together, and I like that they're giving Jungle Boy more opportunities in both the tag capacity, singles capacity, just more of an opportunity to kind of show what he can do.
Yeah, dinosaurs, dragons, Red Dragon. It so fits, dude. I didn't even think about that.
It does.
Wow, man. That's like Wrestling Outlet. Fits us too, man.
It all goes together.
It's just like... Anyway. Anyway, who gives a fuck? MJF, once again, is backstage. He's with Sean Spears. They're talking to Alex Marvez. And next thing you know, Jake Roberts comes out of nowhere. And you're like, what the fuck is this happening? Obviously, it looks like MJF has hired Roberts and Archer to do a sort of a hit on Wardlow. So Jake is talking. I was loving what Jake was saying. I think Jake is always great. And then Archer comes out, like interrupts everyone. And he's like, I just want to fight Wardlow. That's pretty much what I heard.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, too.
Okay, all right, good.
I do like that, though. I like that, MJF hires people to do his bidding. Because we saw that with the Jericho feud, too, where he's bringing in a new guy every week. And now he's doing that kind of similar thing with Wardlow, where he's hiring these big dudes to try to take out the other big guy. So that's, well, maybe not the big guy. I don't want Ryback showing up, but you get what I'm getting at.
Yeah, Dirk, I noticed that, too. Jake was sweating the hell, especially, it was just pouring down the left side of his face, going down his eyes and shit. I saw the same thing. I saw he was sweating. And Eric was asking if we think Christian's going to turn on the Jungle Express. I think, yeah, eventually.
Yeah, it seems that. They planted the seeds. It seems like that's sort of what everybody thinks is going to happen. It's just a real slow sort of a burn, which I will like. It works that way because if you do it if you did it within the last couple of weeks, people would have saw it coming. Mm-hmm. But they almost kind of lull you into a false sense of security, so that when it actually does happen, it's going to come as more of a surprise.
Yeah, it's like when the van pulls up with candy. Right? No?
Indeed.
Okay.
See, that always worked well for me because being a bigger kid, I was harder to get into the van. So I got the candy, and then they got back problems trying to get me into the. I got mine. They didn't get theirs.
Let me get over that one for a minute. Oh shit. So anyway, I guess we're gonna see Archer versus Ward. He just breaks his back putting me in.
truth, right? You fucking you use the opportunity because they bend over and then you can work the back rake. You can do like a double axe handle to the back. There's all kinds of things. All kinds of back related offense.
Okay.
That reminds me of that story we were talking about with Kenny Omega, where like Bill DeMott was telling him that he needed to work a body part, so he spent like 20 minutes working his opponent's ass, which was fucking hilarious.
That's
I love that story.
The weirdest thing in the world, but that sounds like something a wrestler would do. Wow, I told a really awful joke and you just made it worse. I was fucking awesome.
Hey, we're teammates. That's what we do here.
I guess so. Okay. So let's move on. Hook made his Dynamite debut, which I you know what, let me ask you, Smart. You think this was a mistake, bringing him over to Dynamite?
So early?
Yeah.
I mean, it had to happen at some point. I mean, I do kind of get where you might be going with this, is like, where do we go from here? But at some point it had to happen. I don't know. I feel like they've been really careful with how they presented him. So I feel like, if they're going to bring him out on Dynamite now, that they probably do have a plan in place, rather, because you want to talk about, like you were talking about, homegrown talent, organic talent. They built themselves. The few are a better example of that, because he has gotten over like fucking wildfire.
Well, if he didn't look like fucking a male model Tarzan, which is what he comes out there looking like, then he might not. But
he reminds me of like Bizarro Orange Cassidy. Like he's evil Orange Cassidy. Like he has the whole apathy thing going too, and he's like cool guy, doesn't care situation, but then like he'll break your arm instead of just like lightly kicking you.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I what the hell? I just like the gimmick. I think it's pretty cool.
I do too.
I think he's good. I think he just comes out there, and yeah, I guess that does make sense. But I just think he looks like a fucking like a model Tarzan out there. Just a pretty person coming out with the whole messy hair, and except tonight it looked like they really, really tried with the hair, and he almost looked like Jim Carrey in the second Ace Ventura with the devil horns.
It's a good point, actually. They have to be very careful with how they do the hair.
Yeah.
Because you want to make it look like he's not trying. So
Yeah.
if you put too much effort into the hair, it looks like he's trying to be cool.
Yeah, it looked like he purposely went for the just woke up look. That's what it looked like tonight. But here's my thing. I think it might have been better to just make Rampage Hook's show.
Yeah, I agree with that. It gives you a reason to watch Rampage, because I honestly have watched Rampage to see him wrestle.
And now it's just not going to feel special. You'll be like, nah, if I miss it, I can watch it on, he'll be on Dynamite anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. I just thought they might, that would be just have him fucking dominate that fucking show. When he runs out of people to fucking kill, that's when you move him up.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But the only real thing is, like, I would say that they've been real careful so far. So I feel like if they're going to bring him on to Dynamite, that there's a plan for him, hopefully. So, hopefully whatever that plan is worth potentially jumping the gun and bringing him out too early.
Well, obviously they did have a plan for him. The plan for him is to come out and do a little bit of comedy with Danhausen, which I get that they're going to have him be this too cool for school guy with Danhausen, but you're throwing him right into a true sports entertainment storyline now.
Right.
And I don't know. Maybe they could be doing this to be like, listen, sink or swim. Let's see how you do. Just go for it. Maybe. But the
problem, though, is if, like, I mean, we don't know. We don't know what he's capable of in terms of, like, range. Because you have people like a Jericho, like a Foley or whatever, that can go back and forth and flip that switch between doing the comedy and being serious. But, like, with him, his whole thing has been him being just a legitimate, like, he's Taz's kid. He's a legitimate ass kicker is how they portray him. So when you have him already doing the comedy shit, it, like, you take away some of the mystique, some of the aura about him when you have him, like, palling around with Danhausen. I don't like that part of it.
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be fine. I think he'll still I think he'll be okay. I think he's going to get it over either way. But I just think they could have spent a little more time keeping him over on Rampage, making that like his show, like The Rock had. And no, I'm not saying he's like The Rock, but The Rock made SmackDown his fucking show.
Right.
You know, I think Rampage just should have been the show where this is the only place you're going to go, and this is where you're going to see Hook, and he's going to be fucking killing motherfuckers on this show. You ain't going to see that shit on Wednesdays.
Well, that's been a thing. That they've fallen into that kind of trap was like before Dark and like Dark Elevation, they were supposed to have people that specifically wrestled on that show. And they were supposed to have storylines that were built around those characters. So it would get those characters over and they'd have their own storylines and feuds and things like that. That played out over the course of, a couple weeks, months, whatever, on Dark and on Dark Elevation. But then it got to the point now where they'll just, like, the show has no real format.
Right.
It's like, you'll get Pentagon on there one week, and then, you'll get Santana and Ortiz on there one week. And, the people that actually pack, the people that wrestle on Dynamite regularly show up on Dark and on Dark Elevation now, too. So it's like there's no real point in watching Dark or Dark Elevation, outside of just if you particularly like one of the wrestlers that's on there. There's no, like, brand or show specific wrestlers or storylines or angles or any other real reason for you to watch them.
Right. It's not like I got to watch this show so I can see this wrestler or this one for this storyline. Or yeah, you're right. It's just all fucking thrown together, mixed together like a big clusterfuck, which AEW seems to love their clusterfucks.
Right.
Speaking of clusterfucks, Mark, that's the perfect segue into Sammy and Tay Conti.
Yes.
Yeah, this is turning into a... was it me, or did Sammy look as douchey as the douchey meme guy?
Oh, yes. I know exactly the one that you're talking about, and yes, you are right.
Yes, he looked as douchey as the douchebag guy in the meme. I don't know why I said the other way, but he did. And he's
got on like a backwards hat and like a black like bomber jacket or leather jacket. I forget which.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That's the one. And Sammy looked just like that, dude. Go away, Heat. SBC is right. Let me explain how much go away heat that Sammy has. They were cheering for Dan Lambert. Meanwhile,
Dirk was asking that because Dirk was asking, and I kind of felt like it was too. Were they doing a double turn? Because people like Dan Lambert because Dan Lambert can cut a good promo, but like he came out. And it was the weirdest fucking thing because he came out and it's like an audience primarily built around young people.
Yep.
And Dan Lambert comes out and he's like, my grandfather told me, I don't know why I gave him a southern accent, that youth is wasted on the young. And like, there's all these young people that are cheering and clapping. And just like, you fucking Sammy, you young punk. And everyone was like, tell him, Dan.
This is the same crowd that he was shitting on literally 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
He was literally shitting on this millennial pieces of crap, pieces of shit in this audience, blah, blah, blah. And they're just like, oh, forget it. We don't like Sammy anymore because he's fucking the girl that we'd all die to fucking bang.
Sure.
It does seem like there's a lot of jealous fuckers out there that don't. I still like Sammy Guevara. Eric's saying he still likes that. I still think the guy is fucking awesome. I actually think this is going to be a good gimmick for them. They're just going to be the obnoxious couple who can't keep their hands off each other. That's what they're going to be. And it's not a big deal. I think it's actually good, but I did think it was... I said
this on the show before, but they remind me of like kind of what they were trying to achieve in WWE with The Way, of like these young kids that are like super obnoxious and annoying. It seems like almost a shoot version of that.
Yeah, the problem was no one hated Gargano and Candice LeRae. They actually were over doing the heel shit like that. These people have literally, this crowd turned on Sammy. But I definitely noticed the crowd cheering for Lambert, and I mean the crowd fucking lit up when fucking Ethan Page grabbed the mic.
Yeah, like every time one of them would start talking that when they hadn't talked before, the pop would be louder and louder. It'd be like there's a pop for Scorpio, there's a pop for Ethan, there's a pop for Lambert. Like I gotta give Sammy credit. He's drawing so much heat that like they're going wild for fucking Men of the Year or Men of the Hour or whatever it is. And like before, it was that when people would cheer for them, it would just be kind of for Lambert. But now everybody's cheering for them just because of how annoyed they are with Sammy and his antics. So it's like, God bless him. He's
amazing.
He's drawing that fucking heat.
It's amazing. And Sammy is doing, I mean, listen, Sammy has drawn enough heat to get Lambert cheered. Can you fucking stand that, dude? That is like fucking mind blowing right there.
Yeah, and then it was like, and it wasn't even just the fans that are like, oh, he's good as a heel, so we're gonna cheer him. It's like, no, people were genuinely like, he was one of the most over faces tonight. It was crazy.
Well, although the promo on Brandy definitely gave him a little hell yeah with the fans, if you know what I mean.
Sure. Well, yeah, they popped hard too because he said that Scorpio Sky was going to give Sammy a pounding that Tay Conti wishes that she could.
Yep.
And they went fucking ape shit.
They did, man. They did. They loved him. I was baffled tonight. I'm like, holy fuck, this man got these people to cheer the guy that was literally shitting on this whole millennial promotion just a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Fucking amazing. We had the House of Black vignette, which we don't really need to get into that. We sort of talked about this one already too. The other women's Owen Hart qualifying match with Daniel Camella and Camella, right?
I believe so.
Daniel Camella and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Now listen, the only thing we really need to mention is Britt Baker was in her hometown. She came down with two of the Steelers. I'm sure Smark might know who they are. I had no clue. But holy shit, this crowd was 100% fucking behind her. Her parents were in the crowd. It was a big win for her. It was a big a pretty big moment for her. And it was cool. Even though she grabbed the mic and healed it up. And I'll bet her parents were super proud of her tonight.
Well, she healed it up, but like everything she said landed with a cheer.
Yeah.
Obviously, in her hometown. I like that they do that. I like that they don't try to have the heels shit on their hometown just because they're heels. Like last week, we didn't talk about it because we didn't do a show, but God, what is his name? Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
They loved him. They were in New Orleans and they fucking loved him.
Uh-huh.
And he played into it, and it made the match better because it got to the point where you wanted to see him win in front of his hometown people. Like, I like that they have the hometown people embrace their hometown. And, if they want to shit on him to try to get heel heat, they can, but they don't force them to, is the distinction.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's the AEW said they wanted to kind of try to blur lines between heels and baby faces when they first started. I got to tell you, they're kind of doing it. I mean, even their heels are getting cheered, which I know it's happened in every promotion. Brock Lesnar was supposed to be this huge heel, and people cheered him when he came out. But I just think that it's kind of working. I mean, Jade Cargill is supposed to be this, hated person. They cheer her. They cheer her. I like this whole baddies thing she's doing with Red Velvet and
Kiera Hogan.
Kiera Hogan. I mean, yes, it's very Toxic Attraction-ish. I don't give a shit. They're all fucking hot.
Yep.
Both groups can be hot as hell and keep doing it. I'll get more on my TV. Happy me. All right, let's get to this main event. We're going about 20 minutes longer than I thought we would. It was Andrade versus Darby Allin. This was a coffin match. I was trying to keep my brain from saying coffee match because I almost needed coffee. Again, I felt like this match was very rushed. Very rushed. Matter of fact, go back one match when the second Britt Baker walked in the ring. She usually walks around, does her little thing, walks around the ring. The ref was like, get your jacket off, get your jacket off. I don't know if you saw him motion for her, and he's like motioning for her to get her jacket off like right away. So I think they kind of pushed a little bit on that match, and I think they rushed this match. I got to tell you, this match didn't start until almost quarter till, dude. So they weren't getting a lot of time for this coffin match either way. AFO got involved early Sting was all masked up in the crowd. I love when Sting does that. It's like he takes the mask off and he's all painted up. It's like look, a mask and a mask.
That's literally my favorite moment
Yes.
of TNA was the moment he attacked Rob Van Dam disguised as Sting. Sting disguised as Sting wearing a Sting mask. It was wonderful. Tonight he had on a backwards hat. That's how he just camouflaged himself.
Yep. And almost like a NPC hat or something. It was weird. Or a face mask or whatever it was. But Sting started beating down the AFO, and then out of nowhere, Sting decides to no-sell a chair shot to the back. And then the next thing you know, the fucker's diving off the goddamn railing.
I would complain if it was anybody else, but just for some reason, Sting just randomly deciding to no-sell shit every match or altercation. Just it's funny to me, and I enjoy it.
I agree.
And then him just flinging himself off he doesn't dive. There's like that scene in Toy Story where he's like, he's not flying, he's falling with style. Like he just fucking flings himself off balconies. He doesn't dive or jump. He just falls forward.
He does, but he makes the fall. He makes it look good, man. Listen, you're right. I would probably bitch if it was someone else too. Listen, the only people that should be able to no-sell moves is probably like Sting and Brock Lesnar, not Brock Anderson. Brock Lesnar. Those are pretty much the two guys that should be able to do that shit. But I can't believe the guy is putting his body on the line like this. You know, and he's like, well, I'd still like to come on back and just do a few cinematic matches. I don't really want to get beat up. And it's like, dude, you're diving off the railing to concrete. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
What are you
he's
doing?
done way more than I thought he would. When he first debuted.
Yeah, I thought he would come in. I thought he might have a couple cinematic matches. Maybe, obviously do the manager thing for Darby. He teased that in the first night he was there. I did not. SBC says Brock Anderson should be no-selling. You're right. Outside the ring, he should be no-selling. He should be no-selling the internet shitting on him like they do every fucking time he has a match. That's what he should be no-selling. Leave me alone.
I wouldn't be opposed to them trying to do a fucking Wish version of Brock Lesnar with Brock Anderson. You just get him to have a little rip-off version of Paul Heyman. It wouldn't be good for his long-term future, but it would make me laugh for 2 or 3 weeks.
If they really wanted to be some fucking bastards, they should have just called him Ole. Just call him Ole and bring him out there.
He could pass. He could pass as Ole. I don't. That's the weird thing about Brock is he's either 25 or he's 52, and I can't tell which.
Either way, he's not getting ID'd in any store he goes in. Probably hasn't been getting ID'd since he was 12.
He's like the anti-Hook.
Yes.
He is not handsome in any way, shape, or form, but he is rugged.
Yeah, Hook's going to be 40 and still look the exact same. And, Brock Anderson's going to be 40 and look like Arn Anderson. Like his daddy.
Well, R-Truth is going to be 85 and look like he's 27.
Yeah, still out there fucking rapping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he hasn't even started yet. He's still one of the baddest young brothers to step foot in the game.
He hasn't even hit his prime, my man. Hasn't even hit his prime.
Probably hasn't. The guy's got 40 more years in it.
Guy's still fucking great in the ring, man. But that's got nothing to do with this fucking last match. And this is why we're fucking going late, because we can't shut the fuck up. But yeah, Darby Allin wins the match. There was a bunch of fucking interference by AFO throughout the whole match. Was it a good match? Maybe. Should I say maybe it was? It
was a decent TV match. If it was a pay-per-view match, it might have been a little bit lackluster, but
yeah. How about it? Yeah, you know what? It was fine. It was a fine match. Let's just leave it there. For me,
yeah, I would agree with that.
For me, it was a fine match. There was some shenanigans. But Sting dove. Sting dove off the fucking railing.
Mm-hmm.
How can you bitch? I can't bitch.
And that's an automatic 1.5 star right there. It's just Sting falling forward out of things.
Yeah, Eric, you're right. It was a bit of a clusterfuck match. It was.
But I mean, it's a coffin match. When you saw that it was going to be a coffin match, you knew that there was going to be tomfoolery afoot.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't think they were going to be in there actually coughing. Just both walk up to each other.
Oh, that's very unsafe.
Can't do that during the fucking pandemic.
That's right.
That's worse than an actual coffin match. That shit might get you thrown off television. Utah can bleed every time his heart beats. It can spurt. But man, I'm going to tell you right now, don't be doing that shit.
No.
No. But yeah, AEW though, just they're kind of been known for the clusterfuck. I think we've used the word clusterfuck for them time and time again on this show. So I don't know. I got nothing else, man. AEW, decent show, not bad, not great, good. It was a fine show.
I pretty much knew this would happen when we didn't do a show last week, and last week's episode was really fucking good.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, next week is just going to be like one of those kind of middling shows.
Nah, middling is fine. No big deal, man. No big deal. So, hey, it's just not going to, listen, not every week's going to be a fucking banger of a week, What are you going to do?
Which describes both Dynamite and our show. So keep that in mind when you write your reviews. We're trying our best is what we're trying to say.
We are. Look, folks, I haven't had a drink in a few days. I'm just kind of a little tired. I need a break, folks. I needed a drinking break. I've had 4 days. Doing good. Need a few more now. I'm going to take a couple weeks off, actually. I'm going to try to, at least. We'll see what happens on Friday.
There you go.
Like, sorry, babe. I'm stopping at fucking gas station. All right. I guess we can wrap this bad boy up. It's late enough. It's been, we're going on about 2.5 hours here, so a little less. But we'll go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. Once again, 250th episode. Thank you, everybody, for joining and hanging out with us through 250 episodes of the Dirt Sheet Dudes. And once again, a first episode of the Wrestling Outlet over here. And like I said, we'll have a new logo coming up soon. New intro next week. We'll get everything done slowly, but I'll start changing over all the names when I get this show put up in the morning. We'll start. It'll start all changing right over. So yes, Eric, we did go with Wrestling Outlet, and I think we're going to stick with that for long as we can. And also, folks, definitely check out the High Marks. It's Cheese Man, it's Mojo, it's G-Wiz. They're on Sundays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Mixler.com/Metal Mitt Network. So definitely be checking those guys out right there. Bobby Anthem, Bobby Blades, they're the Inhumans on the Inhuman Experience. Check them out on all the usual podcast platforms if you have not already. And of course, he's in the chat room. Eric, Doug, Daniel on the Everything Unscripted Wrestling Podcast, the EUP Network over there on Blog Talk Radio, and you can find them on all the usual podcast platforms also. And definitely shout out to Stephen Milan. Definitely appreciate you out there sharing the show, my man. And find him over there, letterboxboxd.com/Stephen Milan, 2 L's in Milan. And once again, Saturday night, back once again, Hollywood Hangout. Jim Brewer's Heavy Metal Comedy, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. See you then. Smart.
You got it. Mondays, 8:30 p.m. on the Metal Med Podcast Network. It is Cheese on Sports with G-Wiz, Cheese, Luke Birch, Matt, and myself. Bulls 114, Bucks 110. Suck it, Luke Birch. Be sure to tune in if the Bulls do win to hear me troll Luke Birch into oblivion. You don't want to stick around for that. It'll come sooner rather than later. In the meantime, what you want to do is you also want to listen to our friends Mojo and Dirk at Mojo and Dirk's Most Dastardly Show. And be sure to check out our friends at Planet Raconteur. It's the Planet Raconteur podcast with Bobby Anthem, Papa Dave, Sincere, and Young Nasty. All 16 episodes of Season 1 are available for you right now, and Season 2 is rolling out as we speak, so you want to be subscribed so you do not miss an episode when it drops.
Oh, yeah. There you go, folks. And that is it. Once again, thanks, everybody. Hope everybody's going to keep joining us over here on Wrestling Outlet now, and that is it. I hope to see everybody out here on Saturday night and checking out Smark whenever he's on anywhere, and we will see y'all next week.
Adios.
You got to go home, go home, go home. It's time to take your drunken ass home. It's all right if you don't know what to do with yourself.